What's up? What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are trying this again. We have a special treat for you all. We're going to test it to see if the quality of the video is much better. Yes, it is. I think it is. I'm looking at it now, and it looks a lot better. But I want you all to decide, is the quality of the video much better this time? Let me know in the comment section before we get started. Let me know in the comment section. Shout out to everybody coming in the building right now. Make sure you hit the like button. Shout out to Reason 13, first mod in the building. What's up, Reason? What's up, homie? We got a special treat for you all today because I am going to be doing a panel where all subscribers will be welcome. You'll be on the screen one at a time. Much better, no lagging. I guess my cell phone reception is so much better than the hotel Wi-Fi. But yeah, well, I guess I got an option to use now. So I'm glad there's no lag. Hopefully that maintains and I don't have any issue. I'm on the cell phone service. So I'm glad that it's working. We're going to give some people some time to come in the room since it took a little while. But y'all hit that like button on your way in. Shout out to GFirm456, the second mod in the building. Awesome, man. How y'all doing today? I hope everything is all well. I'm doing great. That snow done piled up outside. It's cold. We up in the hotel room, cozy. But we're ready, man. But today's topic, guys, well, one of the topics, because we're going to do a few different videos. Who got to go? Who got to go on this roster? And I'm sorry I was late on the last one. I had to check out Dudley Durong's stream. He did the top five surprises, I believe, of the 2019 season. What an awesome video he did. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. And I think he's spot on it. So y'all go check it out. I know Friday he's going to go with the top five who weren't the opposite of awesome, I guess, the top five. And that's kind of tough because I guess that's kind of what we're doing now. But instead of me doing it, it's an opportunity for you all to do it. I'm going to be placing the link for the stream in the comment section really soon. I'm gonna be placing the link for the stream in the comment section soon because I want to hear from you all. I want to know what you all think. Who gotta go? Who gotta go? I'm not even gonna say I think this person, that person. I want to know from you all. Who gotta go, man? Who got to get off of this roster, man? Who does the coaches need to say enough is enough? No, you got to go. So I want to hear from you all. I'll be posting that link in about 1 minute. But before we do, I want to wish all of our U.S. troops the very best. A lot of crazy stuff is going on in this world. This isn't a time to be political in the comment section. This is just a time where TD Fans Talk wants to show love and support for our U.S. troops who have been deployed and more that may be deployed with the tensions that have arisen around the world, Iran in particular. So special shout out to our U.S. troops, basically putting their life in harm's way to fight for the freedoms that we have in this country, the rights and all the abilities that us as Americans get to enjoy. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And we appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And you are in our prayers. You are definitely in our prayers. Okay. And again, we love you. Salute to the troops. Salute to everyone. It doesn't matter. National Guard, service members, anyone who serves this country so that we can enjoy being able to stream on a Wednesday at 12:30 noon without having any worries. That's what, listen, man, we love y'all. All right. So just shout out to you all. Love you, love you, love you. Okay. Just want to make sure we spend some time to acknowledge that because it goes a long way, man. It goes a long way for those guys. They're the ones out there doing it. We're out here sitting in the AC or heat, whatever one you're in right now. Enjoying the day while they're fighting for us to enjoy the day. So I just salute to every single one of those guys and gals, however you want to put it. We love you over here at TD Fans Talk, no question about it. And thank you so much for your service. All right. Prayers up. Thanks, CDU. I have family heading out there. All right, Nick, man. It's all about prayer, man. When healthy, Rashad Jones is a beast. Talk it, bro. All right, man. Let me go ahead and put the link in the comment section. And guys, join at your will. You can come on the live stream this morning and give us a player who you feel needs to go and tell us why. This is your opportunity to join the stream, be interactive with TD Fins Talk. But I'm glad that I figured out how we can do the live stream in the hotel without the lag. Just hooked to my phone internet, the tethering. So that's what's up, man. So I'm going to give y'all some time to come on in the building and join the stream if you like to. Let me see another thing I wanted to pull up, man. While I'm waiting on those to join, I just want to throw this out there. Just a little bit more hate, since y'all call it hate. Everybody is around here raving about the Miami Dolphins selecting a player with the 5th overall pick in the draft. Let me list it out. Let me bring Reason on, who's in the background. The reason that we're here.
What's up,
I'm bringing Reason in real quick. Let me read these while Reason's here, guys. This is a good person to read these to.
Oh, here we go.
This is who everybody's raving about drafting, okay?
Are we going to bring Tua's numbers here?
A player. Oh, yeah. Some of his best numbers. You ready? You ready?
Go. Bring it.
All right. Here we go. First number is March 18th.
Oh, you're going
broken index finger.
Yeah, you're going over his injuries. Okay.
The second injury, 8 months later, October the 18th, a sprained knee. The third number, just 1 month later in November, a left quad. The fourth beautiful stat, just another month later, a left ankle. And then he survived for 10 straight months, primarily while he wasn't playing for 8 months. 2 months into the season in October of 2019, right ankle. Then a month later, November 19th, dislocated hip, posterior wall fracture, broken nose, and a concussion. He has this thing about October, November. 2 years in a row, he got hurt in October and in November again. I just thought I'd throw those wonderful stats out. He has good. That's one thing that's going to be on the draft board about Tua.
You know what?
He has great consistency in injuries. Okay. I love it, man. You can't find another consistent player like that.
But you know what's crazy about the ankles? And this is like those surgeries weren't necessary. But but Tokalusa, they're known for doing those surgeries to strengthen ankles. Like, he didn't need them, right? They were sprained. He didn't have like tears. He didn't. But the Alabama coaching staff, they're notorious for doing that. So
wanted to have it done anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching Brady Quinn talk about it yesterday, and he was like, you know, they're just notorious over there for doing that. And you know what? You've heard me. Part of the reason for that, you know, that hip injury, I do blame the ankle, because if he's not 3 weeks, he was 3 weeks removed from surgery in a blowout game. Why are you out there? But anyways, if you're not 3 weeks removed from surgery on that ankle, he's not getting caught from behind. And I mean, it's just the context of thing. Like, it's a freak injury, right? Like they said, for what happened to his hip, usually you only see that in car accidents. Like, that's how freak of an injury it was. You know what I mean? It's just tough luck. And, you know, Josh Rosen had an injury history before he came into the NFL, right?
Like this?
So,
like this?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 injuries in a year and a half.
The only thing you can really point at though right now is the hip, because the ankles, they're a mute point because they're strong. The surgery makes them stronger than they were before he got hurt. So
what about the broken nose? You know, he can't smell the defense coming.
Okay, get out of here with that. You know what I mean? The concussion, I would be more worried about than the broken nose, because those, as we all know, pile up with athletes and can get really bad. But yeah, the hip's the issue, man. I mean, the blood flow, that's your issue. And you're gonna know. Listen, I love the guy. I love what he's done. You know, he's literally one of the most prolific college passers that we've seen. That's facts. But it's gonna come out. You know what I mean? These reports on the hip, the blood flow, in March, April, you will not be able to escape those leaks. Like, it's the number one story in the draft. We're going to have a good idea. And if the blood flow comes back, and it's like that thing I sent you about the D+, if that ends up being true, it's a D+ or a C- hip, then yeah, you know what? You got to really seriously say, is this going to turn into a degenerative problem in 2 to 3 years where it's actually serious, or is this going to be in 10, 12, 15 years? You know what I mean? That matters. That matters a lot, because you know what, TD, you're going to be right. If that comes out as a D- or a C+, he's going to slip past the first, because teams are going to legitimately say, what do I have, 3 years at best with this guy?
But that means he would have been lying in his press conference the way he made it seem.
Yeah, but did you notice what he said? He's like, even doctors can't foresee the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think, you know what, TD, like when you try to think about it logically, I think doctors in New York must have said, you know what, go ahead with it. You're going to be fine, because I don't think he would have risked. He's not going to get that money if it comes out that his hip's in bad shape. So he's doing this all for naught, and he might as well have went back to Alabama and rehab. So I think someone told him that, you know what, you're probably going to be okay with this. Give it a go. That's me just thinking out loud. But I also, on the flip side, from what I've heard from people close to the family, his dad was really pushy about, you know what, let's go to the NFL. And Saban convinced him too. He said interview after the press conference, he said he changed his mind twice this week.
Well, here's the deal. And I want to make sure I get everybody straight on this, especially those who are watching right now. I don't care about the hip. Hold on. Let me show you what I don't care about. I don't care about the broken index finger. I don't care about the sprained knee. I don't care about the left quad. I don't care about the left ankle, the right ankle, the dislocated hip, the posterior wall fracture, the broken nose, nor the concussion. I don't care about all 10 of those things in a year and a half. What I care about is the fact that he had them in a year and a half.
Yeah.
What I care about is the fact that 10 injuries, even if one of them compound to 4, 10 injuries in a year and a half, you're injury prone. People worrying about the hip or whether he's going to be healthy. I don't care if he's going to be healthy. I'm assuming he's going to be 1,000% healthy. What I'm worried about is when he put those pads on in training camp and or first real game, the next whatever it is, butt cheek. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. That's what I'm worried about. Everybody about the hip and whether it's going to recover. I don't care if it recovers. It's going to recover, if you ask me. From everything we've heard, reason it's going to recover. That's not my gripe here.
You're worried about durability. You're worried about
durability. I'm scared to waste a 5th overall pick for a guy with durability issues versus an Andrew Thomas.
And you know what? And I get that, but someone put it the best way anyone could say it on that I saw. They said, you know what? You can't hit a home run if you don't swing the bat. And
swinging at Andrew Thomas.
I think he's gonna be gone. I don't think they're gonna trade up for an offensive tackle.
I get that, but if he's available and Tua is available, that's my point here. You can't hit a home run if you don't swing the bat. Then swing it at Andrew Thomas if he's there. Swinging it, that's my whole point. That's like saying you got the best pitcher in the league versus the sorriest pitcher in the league. Go ahead, let me swing it with the sorriest. You see what I'm saying?
Well, we didn't swing with Breeze, right? And I mean, that came back and bit us in the ass. Eventually, you have to take risks.
One moment, keep going, Reason.
I mean, that's just how I look at it. Eventually, to be great, you're going to have to take risks. I mean, Belichick, he's historically, with the Patriots, he's not that great of a drafter. But what does he do? He takes risks on other guys that have been drafted high that teams have discarded, and he's made something of them. I mean, you know, whether it's injury or whether it's attitude or whether it's personality traits that are the problem, Belichick rolls the dice. And, you know, when you look at how good he is on field and you watch the tape, it's just, I'm telling you, a healthy Tua, it's not even close between him and Burrow. Burrow is not the number one quarterback in this draft if Tua is healthy. I mean, the guy had what? Before he got hurt, he had 3,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He was on pace for 50 touchdowns. So, I mean, I don't know. He's too – the ceiling and what he can be is too high for me to pass on that. That's what you're going to run into the issue of. And
I beg to differ with the whole Tua is way better than Joe Burrow if he's healthy. It's all scheme. It's all scheme. It's all scheme. To me, it is all scheme.
No,
it's that simple.
You saw that offense could not produce touchdowns when he went down, and everyone was saying it was the players around him. And Mac Jones was not doing what Tua did. And let's put it in perspective a bit more. All these people that love Jalen Hurts, look what Jalen Hurts did against LSU, and go look at what Tua did against LSU. Okay, Tua brought them back in that game by himself.
It's all scheme, bro, in my opinion. Because what's the difference if Tua? Okay, what if Tua played in the 2017?
Well, here's a perfect example. Okay, here you go. Perfect example. Mac Jones. Okay, like Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs. They were TD. They were having to stop and wait on the slants. Okay, with Tua, they're getting hit in stride, and it was slowing down the yak. So you noticed when Tua left, the yak went down large in that receiving core because they were having to stop and wait on balls. They weren't being hit in stride, and they could just take off. So it's little things you were noticing without Tua. Like, that's just how it is.
But that's not what I'm seeing with Tua.
You're talking about a guy who's got a pocket presence like Drew Brees and who can manipulate it like Russell Wilson. Like, that's what he is. And it's crazy, bro. And then people talking about Herbert.
Here's what I don't understand, Reason. When I hear individuals like yourself speak up Tua like this about the pocket presence and things, all of that nature, here's what gets to me. Why do we speak of his pocket presence in a perfect pocket?
But he doesn't have a perfect pocket.
Yes, he does. Majority of the time.
That's not true, because look at, if he had those clean pockets, he wouldn't have had two defensive linemen bowling down on him that penetrated the line and that landed on the back of him and blew out his hip. Why do you think Leatherwood went down, and why Jedrick Wills all of a sudden rose up draft charts and Leatherwood came down? Because Leatherwood was protecting his blind side, and everyone was saying, this guy is doing
the reason why Tua had two defensive ends sitting on top of him, because I can pull it up right now and play that play. Tua had the ball in his hand longer than 10 seconds. I can pull up that play right now and watch him in the pocket for 5 seconds and then roll out to the left and extend the play, and don't get rid of it and then get two guys falling on top of him. He has all day. It's easy to say you got great.
So does Herbert. Herbert has probably arguably the best line in college. He's got the best left tackle. Penei Sewell, and he's got Jake Hansen, he's got Shane.
But I'm not comparing him to Herbert.
Hold on, but let's put it in perspective. He can't do the things Tua do, and he has better protection.
That's why I'm not comparing him to Herbert.
But I'm just saying, you can't really, like, this is, everything you want to throw at Tua, you can throw at Burrow, or you can throw at.
I guess Herbert. My thing is this: if Tua had an average of 3 seconds to throw the ball, and all of that stuff we rave about wasn't
2.5. His average release time is 2.5 seconds.
Of course it is, because the defenders are playing 10 yards off and he's throwing wide open slants. I know he needs 2.5.
He doesn't just throw wide open slants, TD. We watched him against LSU hit Devontae Smith streaking along the line, man. Like,
but of course everybody's gonna have.
This guy has the best deep throw accuracy in college, man.
So you mean to tell me the deep ball going 50 yards down the field, he needs to have.
You used to have what? Sorry,
see, you're talking about the deep ball.
Yeah,
the deep ball, you need more than 2 seconds, regardless. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So his 2.5 second release has nothing to do with the deep ball. I'm talking about these short routes. Bro, when I hit right away.
I'm sorry, so you broke up again.
Caught a slant and got hit right away.
Slant and get hit right away?
Yeah, when has he caught a slant in tight coverage?
Who? Jeudy or
Jerry Jeudy, or any of those guys?
Well, they're quick little breakoff slants, right? But that's not all their.
Right, but it's all their
offense. But that's not all their offense.
I know that it could be small outs, it could be small. I get that, but what I'm saying is his release time has nothing to do with that.
One of my favorite stats about this kid. Let me put this up. Okay, on balls that travel 20 yards or more in the air, okay, Tua Tagovailoa is 67% in his career. Okay, let's put that in perspective.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield coming out in that draft was the highest in his draft class at 56.7%. Josh Rosen at UCLA, big arm, known for that arm strength. He's 39%. Okay. So this guy is not just a slant thrower. This guy, he throws elite at every level. That's what you're
proving. You're actually, by saying that, you're proving my point. He has almost a 60% completion percentage at the deep ball.
67.
But if you go watch the deep ball, you know how you say, oh, guys catch those slants on the run? When I watch, now don't get me wrong, sometimes you got a dime dropping in on the run and it's perfect. But a lot of times when I watch Tua's deep ball, those guys are running in stride and they got 10-foot separation and they literally have to slow down, catch it, and then go. No, that's my whole point. When you have elite receivers that get that kind of separation, you can throw a floater that ain't even accurate and is complete, but it goes down as accuracy.
Okay, well, I can put to one throw on. I can talk about that example with one specific throw, the game-winning throw against Georgia in the national championship. Okay, go watch before he makes a throw. Right, he makes his first read to the guy on the outside. He makes his second read, which is the slot slant not open, and then he makes his third read, which is a freshman, Devontae Smith, up the sideline dime, like you said, right? But he makes those. He goes through those reads in like under 3 seconds. If you watch the play, he goes through those progressions in under 3 seconds, and boom, it's there. Like it's just boom, there it is. Like I've watched enough film on this guy to tell you like to trust
Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa is not making those 3 reads under 3 seconds. You know what Tua Tagovailoa is doing? I've watched it and I've seen it, and I've already explained this to you a month ago.
We never talked about
Tua Tagovailoa. No, I'm talking about his behavior, and let me explain it to you. Tua Tagovailoa already knows that he's going to that guy. And the problem is whether the guy is open or not, he's going.
That's not true. When he likes the ball, that's not true because
bro, on those passes, I don't even see Tua look at the guy and say he's open and go. It's look.
So you're basically saying that he forces his first read whether he's open or not. That's what you're saying.
No, well, that's the thing about
because that's Jordan Love. That's not Tua Tagovailoa.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That is Tua Tagovailoa. Let me give you what I see on Tua Tagovailoa in those situations. If the play is called and it is a slant to Jerry Jeudy on the left, when he hikes that ball, he's letting it fly. He ain't even caring about if the defense is in good position or not. That's why he got those small little careless picks when he do. Usually the defender is already back. You go watch every single pick he's thrown on a slant, and you tell me if he even cared to read the defense. He just let it fly. And you know that on those plays that he threw those interceptions, we were live on one of them, Reason. We were watching it live, and you were on this stream when he threw
the fumble. And then
didn't even look, Reason, didn't even care to evaluate the defense. He hiked the ball and went, and the guy was sitting there because that is what Tua does. You know why? Because 99 times out of 100, the guys playing off because they respect the receiver's speed, and it's a guaranteed play. That's the problem. So hold
on. He's not hitting. Okay, first of all, Jerry Jeudy is by far not closest to the fastest guy in this draft. Okay, that's A. The reason why he puts so much trust in that first read with Jerry Jeudy is because Jerry Jeudy gets that separation because he's probably one of the best route runners that has ever come through college. That's why he gets those. That comes down to technique and route running. That's why he's open most of that, not his speed.
Yeah, but why does he get the interception? Why does he get the interception? Why does he get the interception on it?
He had 3 interceptions all year.
Yeah, but why? But if you look at every single one of them, just the most carefree ones. It ain't like he was a defensive disguise.
Okay, so Jordan Love, for example, has 17 interceptions. Like 14 or 13 of those are off of forcing the first read. Okay, so do you really think a lot of these quarterbacks that are 21, 22, because Tua is going to be, I think, 23 or 22 by the time the draft rolls around, do you think a lot of these kids, make the right decision on every single throw?
The difference is Tua doesn't make a decision.
Yes, he does.
That's the difference.
He wouldn't have had 3,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 3 picks when he got hurt if he wasn't a good decision maker, because that's one of his strongest assets is his decision making. The only guy who had less interceptions with him that's considered a top 10 quarterback in college was Justin Fields. And he ended up having 3 by the end of that loss, and he went into that loss with 1. So, I mean, Burrow threw more picks than Burrow had, I think, 5 when they faced off. He had more picks than Tua. So
Tua is a system quarterback that throws the ball.
Alabama's never produced a system quarterback that's looked like him.
Tua, I am telling you what he is, and that's why it translates. Tua is a system quarterback that throws the ball where it's supposed to be thrown based off of the play. And if the defense has a better play, then too bad. For him, I'm throwing the ball where it's supposed to be. Let me show you something, bro. Let me show you something.
If that was true, this guy would have at least 15 picks a year.
Huh?
If that was true, this guy would have at least 15 picks a year.
No, he has the luxury. He has the luxury of literally having defenses fear those receivers all day, every day. They fear the receivers, bro.
You know, Joe Burrow, his receiving core is literally just as good, if not statistically better, since Tua went down, right?
What was that again?
You know, LSU's receiving core is statistically better since, like, they were statistically as good when Tua was around, and they become statistically better than the Alabama core this year since he went down, right? Because everything you can say about Burrow, all these first reads, go look at Burrow's film, and you'll see the exact same things you're trying to pin on Tua. But Tua is like renowned for his decision making, so I don't even understand this.
Bro, look at this.
You're trying to tell me a guy who had 3 picks before he got hurt is a bad decision maker, but all right.
No, I'm not saying. All I'm saying is he ain't really making decisions. That's how easy it is in Alabama.
Do you have any other games other than this Clemson game, or is this all we got? Because I mean,
no, bro.
All the Tua haters only got this game.
Okay. What game? I forgot. What game was it that we went live on this year? What game did we went live on this year?
LSU.
Did he throw a pick in that game?
Yeah.
All right, we'll pull that one up next. But here's my thing.
Dimes. He also threw some dimes and brought them back in that game. So, and they got a way better defense than Alabama.
Hold on, look at this. Let me go pre-snap here. Look, you see this? Yep. For once, you see this corner up here?
Yep.
You know what Tua's used to? You know what Tua's used to? You know who this is out here, that dog. What Tua is used to, as soon as he hikes that ball, this guy backpedaling right away. That's what he's used to. Every single play, this guy on every team backpedaling. As soon as the ball is hiked, and what does this guy do? Something Tua ain't used to, but he throws it anyway. He sits.
He sits in front of it.
He sits. He sits.
And then he steps.
And what happened? And what happened? And what? Tua didn't even see the guy ain't even.
Yeah, he thought he was gonna backpedal off and give him a bit of a cushion.
He thought. You see what I'm talking about? He thought. You know why? Because that's what everybody does against him. He thought. Now a great quarterback.
That's going to Judy out of the slot, right? That's going to Judy.
Hold on. You mean to tell me you're right. Now, you mean to tell me a great quarterback is supposed to use what they think is going to happen, or they supposed to read what's actually happening in real time? That's my only point.
This looks like just play it. Just play it out for once. Like, just play it. So this is a design play. It looks like
design play for who?
For Judy. Okay, go back.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, it's a design play for Judy.
Earlier.
Yeah, this is basically okay. So we're talking about Jordan Love. This is what Jordan Love fed off in the Matt Wells offense last year before he went to Texas Tech. This is a first replay designed for Judy to hit that out and bang, it's there, and then he goes out.
But why we keep talking about Jordan Love?
And the receiver at the top is he's trying to do a little bit of a pick on AJ Terrell. That's his duty if you play it through.
Yeah. It's a design play, and what I don't like about Tua, on a design play, he goes where the ball is supposed to go, regardless of the defense, because it's a design play.
What he's supposed to, you know what he should have done? He should have probably audibled out of it. But does he have that kind of power?
No, well, he should, even if he didn't audible out of it, he doesn't throw that ball.
But yeah, you could go roll around. But the thing is, as soon as he snaps the ball, you can tell with this man picking and that man making the cut and him snapping, and like he literally snaps, plants, and throws. So you can tell that's designed. So that's Saban saying, get him the ball.
Exactly, Reason. So here's my issue. There ain't nothing this corner could have done to make him not throw the ball. Yeah, that's what scares me. Yeah. He's going, if a defender plays this play like this,
play calling, isn't it? Isn't that more on play calling?
No, it's not, because your quarterback still got to be able to read it. This guy sat here. He didn't move. This guy's already 2 feet off the line. The ball is still in your hand. He didn't backpedal one bit. He never moved. You got to be cautious about
I agree. He didn't move.
But that's my point. This is what scares me with Tua. He's going to throw that ball no matter what.
Yeah, so you're saying if you run a design play and it's supposed to go that way, he's gonna run it like how
he's gonna get. If the defender plays it that way, it's going to be a pick 100% of the time, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah, I know, but that you know what that kind of is, Ben. That's I don't want to use this term, but that is kind of the negative of being a coach's pet and doing everything what the coaches wants you to do. Because that's where you're supposed to be a quarterback. That's where you're supposed to be a quarterback and come off the design play.
So in the NFL, we let this slide on the quarterback.
No, I agree. No, I agree. That's the downfall of a guy being too much of a kind of coach's pet. And you played football, TD. There were guys in the huddle and there were guys on the sideline that were like, no, coach wants it ran this play. We want it ran this way. We're running it this way, and that looks like the result of the negative impact of being one of those guys.
But I don't give Tua that cop out. I get what you're saying, but I don't give him that.
I agree. He's got to be a quarterback. He's got to be his own mind.
On the next level, your read right here is, oh my gosh, because if you notice, the receiver right here did a great job. He broke off the line like he was going to go a full sprint.
Yeah.
He did a great job selling the full sprint, but Clemson already knew what was coming.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because this guy never
should
never sit here if this guy breaks off the line like that, but he sat there. And that is the quarterback's job to say he sat. They got
they got 2 linebackers over the check down over the middle, and then they got the check down is going to be the back out of the back, but I'm calling this the check down because he's the only one open when he's actually throwing the ball. And then to the right side, the guy's doing the same thing. He's not really backpedaling. If you put it back, he's sitting there waiting to see if you going to come to the slant to this side, because they went double slots, right? Or it looks like it. So they were looking for that slant to come on either side.
But this guy back here, down here at the bottom of the screen, he had less concern. He had less concern because Tua's body's already decided where it wanted to go.
Where Judy was. Once Judy lined up, they probably knew.
And you're right. There's no question. This play is designed for one person.
Yeah.
But in the NFL, we need you to read this cornerback sitting down and make it. Oh no, it's not there. Either take off a run, or let this extend a little more, or throw the ball away in the NFL.
When you actually look at the ball's trajectory right now, though, it looks like if you're going to make that throw, he had to make it as quick as he made it.
Why?
Well, if you look at the trajectory with how he's breaking, that ball, if you look at where his break was going to be, he just came into his break, I think, and that ball is going to be there like a step and a half into his break, right?
Actually, Tua was throwing the ball right on the break. Here's what gets to me. Let's go to the
the break right there with his right foot planted.
Let's go to the very last millisecond, and that's this right now. He winding up, and he has decided, I am going to throw this ball. Yeah. But yet this man never took a back step.
Yeah.
Never moved. And you're going to throw the ball. Now, with the
21-year-old quarterback, brother.
And let me give you another reason on this play. Here's what I don't like about this play as well. Tua actually misfired the ball. How does the cornerback catch the ball behind the receiver? This receiver is actually going to be past the corner that came and caught it behind him. He threw the ball behind the receiver. Stop. How did that happen?
Yeah, he did. He threw it behind him.
He missed through the ball as well. He didn't only read it wrong, but he actually gave it to him. If he would have veered that out, it might have been a tough incomplete or a tackle right away.
Yeah.
He actually didn't even throw the ball right.
He didn't put it in a spot where only the receiver could make a play on it.
And my thing is, I already know about Tua's arm and stuff like that. He's good. I mean, that little criticism I said right there was just something I noticed. That ain't a concern of mine. My thing is, in this league, you're going to have more situations like this than your typical 5 seconds to throw the ball and a receiver beat his guy and you got him. And he might thrive in it. But that's what I be concerned about.
I still say, you know what? You know how much I love Justin Fields. We talked about it in the chat. I still say he looked better against Clemson than Justin Fields did this year. So Justin Fields kind of became a wreck near the end there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that second pick where the receiver broke out, it looked like they were going post, but then they broke out on the corner. I was like, what's going on with that? And he just threw it up in the middle of the end zone, right? And I mean, Isaiah Simmons made a nice play on the first interception, but Justin Fields to me just didn't look like Tua, at least at moments in that game, kind of had rhythm. That's why he threw 2 touchdowns. But, he didn't have that consistent rhythm that you want to see in a national championship game. And that's why I still say, watch out. I still think Clemson's going to beat LSU, bud. I think Burrow is in for such a rude awakening with that number 1 overall defense, buddy. He hasn't seen anything like this year. And I think it's going to be a serious problem because you know what? Those first reads you're seeing on Tua, Burrow thrives off those, and they're going to take those away. And I think you're going to see him struggle a little bit to try and get ahead in this game. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. And you got a guy on the other side where TD, if this guy wins back-to-back national championships as a freshman and a sophomore, and
he might even go back to school and get a third one.
Lawrence?
Clemson,
yeah. He might. Well, he's going to go back for a third one next year, no matter what. But scary. Yeah, this is the fumble.
No, I'm looking for the interception. That was just a fluke play. Yeah. That happened to everybody.
Lost his grip.
You remember what quarter it was in?
No. I think it had to have been remember they started off slow and then Saban got Najee Harris involved and then Tua really took off. So it had to be the first half. Because he played a pretty flawless second half, if I remember correctly. He finished with almost 400 yards. And the majority of that was the second half. I know everyone gives EM issues on this channel, but you know what, guys? EM was one of the first guys before this game preaching LSU has a very good defense, and people were sleeping on it. Now you look at them, and he was right.
You see what he did right here? This is what you do when that. Oh no, not that one. This is what you're supposed to do when that read isn't there.
Oh, you found the play again?
No, this is a different one.
Look at the penetration they were getting. Man.
Oh, this was how many picks did he throw in the LSU game?
1 or 2. I think he threw 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. I have to look. Yeah, that was just
2 picks.
I think I might be wrong,
yeah,
but I'm pretty sure 4 and 2. I think it was 395, 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. I'll look it up right now. Yeah, but I mean, he didn't see the. Was that the linebacker that crept back?
Man, this is my whole point, man.
Yeah, but you get these issues with all these 21-year-olds, and the thing is, he limits them compared to guys
but I want
you see this more with Jordan Love and Jacob Eason and Herbert. It's more consistent. You see this stuff. Here's the thing, okay? Perfect example. You won't see Tua make these mistakes against you'll see him. Look at the footage we're using. We're using LSU and we're using Clemson. Clemson was the best team last year. LSU is arguably the best team this year.
He only making these mistakes against the good teams.
No, he does. He doesn't. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's the footage we're using, right? But when you look at guys like Eason or Hurts, for example, perfect example. The guy was throwing pick sixes against TCU, brother. Guys that should, and he's letting them back in the game by doing that. Teams that have no business being in games. Kent State, he almost blew it against Kent State. You know what I mean? Who's Kent State? Tua would never, ever let that kind of thing happen. That's the difference. But, you're seeing errors, but I mean, it's a 21-year-old quarterback. You know what I mean? You're good. You're not going to see flawless. Like, I was amazed that Justin Fields only had one interception heading into that game. Like that this past weekend, that was crazy. You rarely see that in college football, especially in the SEC. Well, not for Fields, but for Tua.
This is eye-opening to me, though. Let me show you what I don't like about this interception. Let me show you what I don't like about it. I want you to look at his eyes. Stop. Right here at this moment, Tua just got through looking at the right side. This was a two progression moment for him. He looked to the right, his guy wasn't there. Here's what gets to me. He didn't look in the middle of the field. He looked all the way to the opposite side. And if you go from one side and you're motioning to the other side, isn't that your opportunity to survey the defense while you're going across?
Yeah. And the middle.
Because that guy that picked it off was in your line of sight to see that he's coming, and you could have saw him as a receiver.
Yeah, was it the linebacker drop back, right?
Yeah, no, he didn't drop back. He just changed direction. He didn't drop back. He just changed direction. I'll show you. This guy right here. Yeah. He's back, but when Tua changes his eyes, he goes
in the right, and he cuts off. Yeah.
He's just going that way. But Tua's looking down here and he's coming back and not seeing this guy come across the field. I'm going to be honest, with all that traffic out there, those things happen. Those things happen. I don't know what that was about. I don't know when that second pick was.
I'm trying to find this. You know what's crazy too? If you actually watch this game, by the end of it, he got better, but by the end of it, you could actually notice like a sizable limp in his walk.
Really?
I don't know if you remember the end of the game when he was walking, like you could, like it was visible. Like it got worse and worse. You could tell he was 2 weeks removed from ankle surgery, right? And they said 4 to 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They said 4 to 6, and they brought it back at 2. See, that's the thing, TD. Look at this situation, okay? Like, who's calling the shots at Alabama, brother? Okay, you got your star quarterback. Okay, he earns his egg. Okay, let's put him under the knife. All right, let's give him a surgery that he really doesn't need, but it'll make him stronger and help him down the line. Okay, but now let's rush him back from that surgery that we didn't need to give him, and you know what I mean? And let's put the weight on his shoulders because everyone wants to see Burrow versus Tua, and let's put the weight on his shoulders and throw him out there. Like the 20, people forget these kids are 21. These aren't like 30-year-old guys that can, that are mature with families and can handle this stuff, man. Like it's crazy the expectations Saban has for these kids, man. It's just nuts.
That's the demand these days. But I want to know what you think about this play here.
Oh, he only threw one pick. He only threw one pick. My bad.
What do you think about this play? Here we go. Count 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I got to see what the looks were like downfield. Like, was nothing really open? And then if nothing was open, I'm going to say to him, throw it away.
This is my thing. He's so comfortable with perfectness.
Did you notice? I would have shifted up in that. Did you notice that hole was there to the right for a bit?
Yeah, I noticed it. Yeah, I noticed it. I definitely noticed that. But
I get it
for me. And don't get me wrong, he had opportunities to throw the ball.
Look, everyone looks covered from what I was seeing. Like
the problem is, look at him right here. He's looking at this guy when the guy right here off the screen is sitting in the zone. And if you got that cannon, you can get it in. But he's not looking there, so I don't even care. And look at the opposite side. There goes your safety net. You're already 3 seconds in. You're supposed to be looking for this guy down here. You're supposed to be look at the middle point of these guys. That's positive yardage. You dump it out to him on the run, one-on-one, he's probably going to beat him anyway, but even if he doesn't, you got a positive gain on this play. But he's so committed. That's the thing I noticed about Tua. He's committed to what the play is for. And we talk about progressions. Did he ever look down here? Hold on. Maybe he did. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me. Because when I watch film, this is the stuff that I critique. I'm like this with all quarterbacks. People think I hate on quarterbacks. But look, he's still over there on the right, still over there on the right, still over there on the right. He never looked to the left.
And when he did, it was too late.
Yeah, well,
he had an arm wrapped. He looked to the left and he had an arm wrapped around him.
So you mean to tell me going through progressions, you ain't getting through every read in 5 seconds?
No, I agree. But I think right here, given the situation, 10 minutes left, fourth and a quarter, down by 12. I agree with you. Take yardage because I'm always like that. But I think he got caught looking for a big play.
He's committed. He always gets committed.
I think he got caught looking for a big play. Look at that first one. Look at that first read. He even did a little the tiniest little pump you could see in his motion because he wanted that bomb. Play that again. You can watch him. He does a little.
Let me show you the sky view.
Watch,
Let me show you the sky view.
Right there, he wanted that pump. He wanted this guy. He wanted this guy streaking, and he wasn't there.
Here's where I thought
over the middle. Yeah.
This is where I thought he should have went, and not there. About a second earlier, seeing that. The problem is he never saw it because he's so committed over here. Yes. No, you're supposed to be taking your nap. Nap.
Well, if you look at his first read is a streaking guy.
No. I know these are his reads over here, but if he would have,
the guy in the far, it's kind of what you said last time. If you look at how he went far left and then he went straight to the right. He didn't go to that guy over the middle.
Yeah, and that's what gets me because this linebacker's sitting there. This linebacker ain't playing coverage on this guy behind him. He could have actually up the field, but and look, he said if you would have threw that strike,
you got that. It's gone.
That's it. And matter of fact, you had a 2-second window on that.
Yeah, you just missed the read.
Right here, 1, 2, and he's sitting in it.
Yeah,
he's sitting in it.
You just missed the read.
But he's there's only one
reason. You said, brother. It's what you said. He did what you said last time. If you watch his motion, he looks left to that streak right there. Oh no, different one. But he looks left to that streak and he does a little bit of a jerk, and then he cuts right back to the right, and he locks into that guy on the right. You pointed out.
Let me show you something. Watch this. See, this is it right here. This is a good completion, but I have a problem with it. Most people wouldn't. You see how LSU's been getting to you, right? Mm-hmm. He automatically waits for 5 seconds. He waits for whatever the biggest play can be, but in the NFL, you're not going to have that. Watch this. Stop. You got a guy already.
Open, yeah.
And you got pressure coming around this corner. You're probably going to do a nice job and step up. But as soon as you see this, bam, that's NFL right there. But he waits even longer, wait. You see how the linebacker came up way late to guard that guy? He been open. Watch this. Watch how you see the linebacker show up in the screen late. Wait, that ain't it. On the next play. Watch you see the linebacker right here show up late. He's just waiting. Now the linebacker shows up and he gets that in route. But my thing is that on a great defensive line, you're not going to have time to throw that in route. And by the time you wait on it to develop the down check, look at this. The check down guy is going to be gone.
I don't know. And it's a good play. He stepped up pretty well in that pocket, and he made a dart. But I get what you're saying. You wanted him. You want to see him take that safety valve as soon as he sees it when it's open.
And it ain't even safety. It's a guaranteed and an opportunity for a receiver to make a play one-on-one and get even more yards.
Are we going to see a dime here? People forget, eh?
That was a good comeback.
Do you remember that dime that he threw to Jerry Jeudy and Jerry Jeudy dropped? And that would have been the touch that touchdown was the difference. I don't know if you remember it.
See, look at this play. Watch this. Oh my gosh. This would drive me crazy. This will drive me crazy in the NFL. He decides where he wants to go. Do you see this play right here? I want you to pay attention to this slot receiver right here. Pay attention to this receiver. Oh my gosh, this drives me crazy. He's going to look this guy down and never leave and realize it's not open and throw it away. But watch all the action happening over here, the opportunities he has. And it's already an advantage. You see how that coverage is up in here? Mm-hmm. Watch this. Stop. Stop. Do you see this? You got this guy.
Yeah, you want to take the under route. You want to take the.
Oh my gosh, do you know what this would do? Him catching that and running behind
the
block.
You get a first down.
He would meet him here if he even meets him. This is your gold right here. This guy right here. But he is committed. He is committed. And the crazy thing about his commitment, I could see if this was a comeback route where this guy's about to come up and come back. But this is a goal. This is a goal. Look at the coverage. You're not going to throw that. You're not going to complete a goal whenever the guy is already in position to start running. Look at this. Oh, it is a comeback route. It still was covered. Hold on. Then who in the heck was he throwing to?
It looked like someone deep that was in the slot to the right.
Even worse. Even worse.
And it looks like he got rid of it because of the pressure that just came.
Yes. Even. Come on, in the NFL, you need this reason. And I ain't saying he won't because coaches are going to show him this type of
thing. We're also like, we've looked at like 4 plays out of, a 2.5-year college career, right? So, I mean, it's a still small sample size. But I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong in any of these points.
And then look at this. He avoided the sack. How many guys in the NFL are going to miss this? Tell me, reason. Watch the sack coming. He avoids it. How many guys are going to miss it?
Not many.
So what would he take right there? Negative what?
Look like negative 4 or 5.
Man.
He's in the shotgun? He's in the snow. He's taking time. Oh, Stop. No. He's taking like 9 yards.
10. Yeah. Look at the blue line.
Oh, yeah. 10 yards. Yeah.
In the NFL, that's negative 10. That's 3rd and 16, bro.
Yeah, but
that's 3rd and 16. When that blitz was coming through the middle, you had this guy for the first down.
I mean, those are all we're going to hypothetical.
Yeah, because he might avoid it in the NFL. You're right, but come on.
And I mean, let's be honest. Whatever team drafts him, brother, they're going to redshirt him for a year, so he's going to be as prepared as he possibly could be whenever he gets the field.
He didn't get the 3rd down because they skipped to highlight the 4th, which obviously he must have picked up because it's 4th maybe. This is where I guess they were coming back. Good job picking it up. And that was good tight coverage. I mean, so let me just say this reason. I already know
let's see some of the deep throws though, because that one to end the game, just show me that before we end this. You remember that throw to Devontae Smith? Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
I think it's at the end. Because it was high, the score was higher than this. It was the one that made it go 41. Because it would end up 46-41.
It's a deep ball, right?
Yeah. It's not that one, which was a nice slant though. This one. Look at that. Look at he made a couple reads. Hey, he looked to his right.
Did he?
Yeah, go
Stop
back.
reason.
He looks to his right. Go back. Start it.
This
he looks to his right. Look at it.
This is what I'm talking about.
Watch.
Stop reason.
Watch.
Reason.
Watch.
Reason he already knows he's going to throw it there. He already knows that reason.
He makes the read right there on the guy in the slot and then goes back.
Bro, I want you to watch this real time. He don't even read the left side. He just yanks it.
He looks to the left and then
he
goes
turns and yanks. He don't look at the coverage. He just turns and yanks. He turns and yanks, and this is what I'm talking about. He already know he's going opposite side.
Right there, he looked. And
but let me tell you.
And he did a shuffle step with it.
Bro, you think he looked to say, "Hey, my guy's open"? Bro, he turned and yanked. He turned and yanked.
He's looking at the guy in the spot, and then he comes off of it.
Right away, turned and yanked.
He was literally looking at the guy in the slot and then came off of it. He looked at the guy in the slot. He didn't read the whole right. He looked at the guy in the slot, then he came to the left and boom. And he saw the separation and gone.
Speed, man. Speed kills.
Devontae Smith is a fast mofo. And I can't believe he's staying back. That's crazy. He's going to be a first rounder next year. So will Burrow's boy Jamar Chase.
Here's the thing. So what I'm trying to say is this, okay? We already know Tua's ability. My thing is, I really do believe his mind is already made up because that's the system Alabama runs. And it's going to get him in trouble on the next level with guys that sit down on routes and things for things that he already going to do. It's almost like that Minka pick six last year. You remember that?
Yeah.
Same example. He's going to get caught with those sometimes. Is he really, like in the NFL, you got to take what you see as soon as possible. And that's the part of his game. But if you're already committed to a side, things can be going on. Like I would love to see Tua hike the ball and his eyes are peripheral. His eyes are peripheral. Maybe he's slightly one way, but he's peripheral. He knows. See, and if you know the defense, you know what should be open. He's looking at guys that's supposed to win their one-on-one battle most of the time. He's reading one-on-one battles.
Which is what Burrow does. Burrow does the exact same thing.
Probably. But versus the defense, though. That's the thing. You're reading one-on-one battles versus the defense. Because if you're like that, you know, that Eli Manning type. Let me read the defense. I know I got a one-on-one out here that we can win. But the defense say, I am guaranteed with this guy right here because he's uncovered. And even if this guy slides back, I have the seam. That's all I'm saying. And he's a young kid, like you said. And my thing with Tua, if he can develop that, he'll be one of the greatest ever. But I can't sit here and say what other people say and say he already have it.
See, I think, TD, I think, we get caught up in how good quarterback prospects are coming out. But I think this is stuff that even, Andrew Luck had to learn. Look at Peyton. How good, and look at how many interceptions he threw his first year, right? It's all stuff you have to learn when you get to that next level, right? It's part of the learning process, but it's about what tools you have going into that process. And that's what I think separates Tua from a lot of these guys. I like his toolbox or his tool set more than a lot of these other guys. Like what you're saying is a perfect example of, I keep going back to this. What you're saying is Jordan Love is a perfect example, brother. Last year, he was in a Matt Wells offense, which he's now at Texas Tech, which is why the rumors of him transferring to Texas Tech were out there to bring his draft stock and his numbers back up. But that was mainly a read-first offense, brother. And go look at what Jordan Love did last year compared to what he did this year when he got a new head coach who implemented an offense that forced you to go through your progressions a lot more. And Jordan Love, I mean, at one point he had 15 touchdowns and 17 picks. I think he ended with 20 touchdowns and 17 picks. But you could tell he was really struggling to make that leap. So, I mean, I think this happens to a lot of college kids, right? Like a lot of college kids, you see design plays, and you do see a lot of first read designed plays because that's the easiest thing, and that's where you get a lot of these guys more comfortable, right?
But why do you feel like that's going to automatically translate into the NFL?
No, I think that's where you come into the coaching and you say, have guys shown the ability to run through the progressions and do more than just rely on the first read on plays that are designed for more than your first read. Because even when the first read based offense, you're still going to have plays sprinkled here and there that are either A, designed for not your first read to be open, or B, where your first read ain't open and you got to make a decision. And that's where you're going to see what separates people.
Finsanity says, to me, it's a catch-22 because if you release the ball quick, you might catch a DB in a back pedal, which is true. That's the good thing about it. It's when DBs expect the underneath throws that they're able to jump routes. It's all about anticipation. The problem with anticipation on the next level is that one pick six can cause you the game. All it takes is once. That's all it takes in this league. And then if we talk about, I don't care about regular season. In regular season, you see all these theatricals, all these, amazing things happening. When you get in these playoffs, if you watch these playoff games, all it takes is that one play. See, it's one thing when you throw a pick. Tannehill threw a pick. The defense stopped him. But it's another when you throw a pick six in the playoffs. That's a whole different ball game. You just gave up 7 points, and points come at a rare premium in the playoffs.
Tom Brady.
And that game was over anyway, if you ask me.
But it's a perfect example.
Yes. Lord, you just keep calling. I'm at school, but I'm eating. He can play on the field. If anyone wants to join the conversation, I'm going to put the link below. But give me your thoughts. I'm listening to your reason while I go check on them. What are your thoughts, your overall? Because I know you're high on Love as well. What are your thoughts about Love? How would he work in Miami if we were to get him?
So, my thing with Love is when I look at this guy, he has the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this draft. I mean, when you talk about the big arm, when you talk about the arm talent, when you talk about, this guy can put him into tight windows. But my thing is, we're going back, the issue that's being made about Tua here, about first read, is not a problem with Tua. With Jordan Love, it's a big problem. It's a very big problem. And that needs to be coached out of him. But what's crazy is, when you look at Jordan Love's game, when you break it down, his footwork is great. His pocket presence is great. He's very athletic. Like I said, great arm talent. Literally, the thing that holds him back from being a top 10 pick is basically how he goes through his progressions in his first reads. And that's why he gets so many. I don't like to make this comparison because I think it's unfair. I think it's putting way too many expectations on the kid. But that's why you get the Mahomes comparisons. Because people are looking at this guy, and I talked about the tool set earlier, right? My thing is, Tua's tool set is a bit more polished than Jordan Love's. Jordan Love isn't polished yet. And once Jordan Love's is polished, and if he gets in the right situation, like what Mahomes got in terms of, doesn't get rushed, he gets properly coached, goes through those mental reps, goes through OTAs, et cetera, you're going to have something that could be very, very special. And you could have this, TD, we always talk about it's never the number one guy who ends up being the best quarterback in the draft. The scary thing about Jordan Love is people could look back on the draft in 5 or 10 years and say he was the best guy in this draft. That's what Jordan Love is. So
this guy.
That's why I've been in love with him. Since I joined this panel, he's the real deal, man. It's just he's a guy who needs to be properly coached up, like how Mahomes was, and that's why you get the Mahomes comparison.
Wow, and I got
which I don't think are fair, because
I got to change the title to this video. I put Tua Love, etc.
Yeah.
What's up, Tony?
Hey, Tony. Hi, TD and Reason. How are you guys?
We're good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm fine. I have a question for Reason specifically, because what worries me a little. This is not a statement. Question more of a statement. What worries me. Well, would you rather have draft a player who has a suspect injury history, dealing with serious injuries in college, or a player with suspect off the field issues who maybe got arrested for something stupid like a fight or something?
It really, honestly, it comes down to the talent level. What?
If they're at equal talent level.
If they're at equal talent level, then, man, that's a top. That's a.
The same question for you, TD.
That's a because you got a guy who could be gone in 2 years for beating up his girlfriend. You got a guy who could be gone in 2 years for getting hurt. What's worse? Honestly, I'd go with the injury because it's a worse look on the franchise if I'm drafting players that I have known bad attitude issues and they're going out and they're beating up their wife or their fiance.
It wasn't. It was like a bar fight that he didn't cause or something like that.
You mean while in college or while he's already in the league?
No, while he's in college.
Oh, then if there's equal talent, I'm taking the bar fight guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the fight guy all day, because people deserve second chances, and on top of it, things happen. You're young and dumb. You just hope that as they enter into the NFL, they start to mature more and more, and you put the right people around them, and you get them the necessary mentorship to help them.
Say it again. That's the big point. What a lot of these athletes don't get, they don't put the right people around them. The best thing of the day, right there.
The perfect example is Johnny Manziel, I think. Right?
But Johnny ain't had the right people around him.
Yeah, not at all. But I mean, I know I wasn't. Were you sold on him as being a first round quarterback, TD?
No.
I was
no
never.
way.
I wasn't totally sold on that. But I'll be honest, I was 103,000% in on Kyler Murray. And that's the difference. Yeah, Murray, buddy.
Did you see
still not
Tim
sold
Tebow
on
the
Kyler
first
Oh, you know
round
how
pick?
badly I wanted us to get him last year?
I'm still not sold on Murray.
Oh, franchise changer.
Okay,
Well,
Reason.
did they
You see
change?
Yeah,
Back-
they're better. Everyone looks at them as a team that's on the upward swing
Bro, 2 games better.
and a tie.
Well, I rounded
what
up
worries
already.
me with
And
Kyler Murray is his
Kyler
high
had some big games. I mean, you got to understand, Kyler Murray, they lost to San Francisco twice, but they were very competitive each game. So Seattle, they were very competitive against Seattle. Arizona, I'm telling you, you're going to see it. It's coming, man. Kyler Murray is the real deal, brother. I'm telling you. You got an arm. That guy flicks his wrist and that thing goes 90 yards.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I'm still not sold on him.
Well, I did.
Is that
I want
insanity?
you guys to get an opinion on this draft I did for the Dolphins. I didn't draft the quarterback at all in the first round. What I did was I drafted Okuda and Christian Fulton as 2 and a safety in the first round. Drafted a quarterback in the third round, third or fourth round, maybe like a Jordan. Because realistically, do you think Jordan Love's a first round pick, or do you think he's more of a second or third round pick?
Okay, so I actually have said this to TD, and I've said it in our chat, which Finsanity, we need to create a WhatsApp so she can see all this stuff. But I will tell you all right now, mark my words. Okay, like I said, Tua will not fall past the Chargers. Jordan Love will not fall past the Colts. That organization and their fan base, at least their fan base, is so in love with this guy, it's ridiculous. So I do not see him falling past the Colts.
So hold on. The Colts pick where?
13.
Okay, yeah. 14. Okay, 13.
Yeah, and you know how it is, TD. You always get QBs that are graded in the second round that always come up to the first because those QB needy teams, they want, like, was Daniel Jones a first round? Come on. Like,
no, he wasn't a first round.
You know my preference between Love and Tua.
Yeah.
I watched the New York Giants stream, and the guys who watched the draft that year were pissed that they selected Daniel Jones in the first round. At the pick, they picked him at number 6. They said it would have been safer to pick him at number 17 because they had 2 picks that year.
Yeah. And
hold on, guys. Let me check with Finsanity. Finsanity, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you, but we can't see you.
Well, we can hear you. We can't see you.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for work, so it's going to be audio based, guys.
You're good. You're good. Thanks for letting us know. We were worried there.
No problem.
Oh man, but so what's your thoughts on all this conversation, Insanity?
Let's see. We're talking about Jordan Love and
Love,
Tua,
yeah,
I believe.
Yes.
I mean, I honestly, because I was thinking, because when I heard that the Bears were starting Mitchell Trubisky again next year, I said that is literally like the smartest move.
Oh no.
Of the off season, because now you're in the NFC North, so you know you're going to tank it, and you get a guy like Trevor Lawrence,
yeah,
next year, and no one's going to think that you're tanking your season. So shout out to the Bears for already getting Trevor Lawrence. But as far as us and getting a quarterback, no, because I mean, like, I like to see things play out in the future, and I like to see the world of football as like a game of chess, and like I'm just really like thinking like.
You think their defense? You think their defense is bad enough to get the number 1 overall pick?
I think their offense is going to be abysmal enough because they still don't have a power running back. So you have to put the ball in. Mitchell Trubisky, he has only one big wide receiver who he doesn't know how to get the ball to, and we saw what the Bears were, and barring Detroit going out and getting a big name in free agency. It's going to be between those two who get, Trevor Lawrence next year. And that kid is just a winner. He exudes, winning. He lives in winningness.
We keep on forgetting. We don't know if the Lions might even pick Tua at number 3.
No, they're going on Tua.
Yeah, they're not picking Tua.
I've been preaching Okuda, and every big mock draft I've seen says Okuda. So, because I mean, you pair that guy with Darius Slay and Tracy Walker.
How long do you think Matt Stafford could last? And stuff. Realistically, how many more seasons could Matt Stafford last in the NFL?
Yeah, but Finsandy's right. I'd rather suck and get Trevor Lawrence. Because they're probably going to finish in the top 5 next year again.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What's up, Adam?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm all right.
What's your thoughts on this conversation? I'm going to get to you, Finsanity. I'm sorry.
My question is like, my thing is like, who's the biggest quarterback that y'all want besides Tua?
Trevor.
So we're, as a matter of fact, that's a good question. I want Finsanity to finish her point, and then that's gonna be the next question.
Hold on, is it this year or
Finsanity? Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
No, I was just saying that, you have teams next year that are in the process of tanking, but they won't get as much backlash as the Dolphins received this year because they're just, continuing their suckiness and, putting it on a bed of roses, saying, like, at least we're, trying to starve the guys that we drafted. But they did. But as far as the guy's question, to me, it's 2 or nothing. Like, why are we trying to go out and settle for anything less than? If we're not going to get Joe Burrow, who I believe has just had, one great season in his whole collegiate career, that scares me. Then why even go below the bar?
Because
you might as well develop Rosen. At that point, you might as well get other positions and develop Rosen. Because now you're back at square one.
Because the bar, he ain't the bar. People making him to be the bar.
It's because a healthy Tua
is the bar.
Tagovailoa is the bar.
He ain't no
he is the bar. Oh my God.
Brother, you know how many people are out there saying right now, like, and I'm talking about legitimate, credible people, that if he was healthy, since he would have a real question on their hands of who do I take, Burrow
was Lamar Jackson the bar? Was Lamar Jackson the bar in the draft? My point exactly. Y'all don't know who the bar is. Y'all guessing based off of what the media tell you.
That's different circumstances.
Different circumstances.
Lamar, first of all, no. Because I say the same thing about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was dropped into a playoff team. Yeah. Now, like you say, attributable factors. Like, let's look at some attributable factors. Mitchell Trubisky was put on a sucky team. Then they got Khalil Mack, so their defense sunshine rays all over their league. It was bringing in a like boom, and then what their kicker misses a field goal, like a double doink, they're one kick away from advancing. So there are a lot of factors that go into a lot of things. That's why I'm.
Rex Grossman made a Super Bowl, okay?
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, Tua is so much better than Jordan Love and all the other guys.
Let me get this straight.
Don't go below it.
Let me get this straight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Who was the higher college prospect, Tua or Lamar?
Tua.
Okay. See, people think I'm comparing Tua and Lamar. The point that I'm making here is
you don't know the bar until after the draft and they play.
Exactly. You don't know the bar until these guys come in the league.
We're saying this is the bar heading into the draft, is what we're saying.
Yeah, I know that's headed into the draft, but she said it's Tua or nothing. With that mentality, you can't draft the Lamar on your team.
I think it's Tua or
But no. Wait. TD, but you have to understand this also. How many highly graded quarterbacks coming out and going into the draft have been drafted by Cleveland, a horrible franchise, right? And how many quarterback careers have the Cleveland Browns killed in the first 2 years? Those kids had no chance off the rip because they were going to a horrible. No. Let me finish. They were going to such a horrible organization. But the Miami Dolphins have the foundation to nourish Tua.
That's why people think he's a good fit for us because of what we have in place. Like, I'm telling you all right now, y'all love Burrow. What's Finsanity saying about a bad organization? Cincinnati is now the bad organization, and
the AFC North. He doesn't go get the Steelers and the Ravens twice a year. Are you kidding me?
Y'all are making me laugh. Y'all talk about bad organizations, but guess what's made these organizations bad? bringing in what quarterbacks that were the bar that didn't end up being the
Not
bar.
Cincinnati, they run the team like a
Yeah,
mom pop shop.
y'all make it seem like the Browns, the Dolphins, and Cincinnati are the only ones. Just plenty bar quarterbacks came in this league and were busts. It's plenty.
No, she just
TD, but where did they go? I'm saying, where did they go? Think about a lot of quarterbacks that translated well. Like I told you, I have a list of first round quarterbacks compared to second round quarterbacks, and you see the second round and the late first rounds translating well because they're in better organizations. Why? Because they're being placed in winning teams already and in winning organizations. What I'm saying is, Tua has the talent. If you sit him, let him, fix that injury, do whatever it takes, so that when Tua comes back on that field, you get vintage Tua Tagovailoa with Preston Williams, with Devontae Parker. Hopefully we go out and get a slot because I don't think Jakeem Grant is it. We see what our defense is doing, and we are ready to run the East, and we're ready to compete in the AFC. It's about where we go.
Brady's leaving, but you see all the quarterbacks that are starting to pop up in the AFC East now. It's begun.
Y'all be proving my point. Y'all be proving my point, but only look at your side. You're saying since we have a foundation, you're basically talking about all the quarterbacks that's been ruined because they went into terrible situations, and we already have a foundation, and you put Tua in our situation, and we could be the future. The same thing with Tua in college. Great situation, but if you put him in another situation, what if he looked like? If Tua played for freaking my alumni, Bethune-Cookman University, he wouldn't be the bar. He wouldn't be the freaking
Bethune-Cookman would have probably been trying to fight like UCF to get into the college football playoff.
I don't care if it was North Carolina A&T. I don't care if it was North Carolina A&T. Tua wouldn't be the bar. I don't care if he was that good. He wouldn't be the bar.
Okay,
he wouldn't be the bar. If you make it seem like he would be the bar, you know you're lying.
Okay, so you asked who else would I take. So I'm going to put it this way. Tua is the best pocket passer in this draft, hands down. Burrow's number 2. We're not getting Burrow because he's going 1. Jordan Love, I would touch. Okay. Herbert reminds me of Derek Anderson. Jalen Hurts reminds me of Tyrod Taylor. Okay. Jacob Eason reminds me of a more polished Josh Rosen. So I would not touch those guys. To me, it's Tua, Love, or you wait till next year and you make a move up for Fields because you're probably not getting Lawrence.
I can see that. I can agree with that. I wouldn't touch Love because to me, I wouldn't touch Love because to me, for all that, just throw Rosen out there and go out and get Fields next year. Like at this point, unless Rosen shows you that he is that guy, because now we can get like a defensive player or maybe an offensive asset in Love's position. To me, what I'm saying is, if you're not going to go get top tier this year, you're in the position to get top tier next year. So why settle? At this point, we're not settling for third best.
Because the ceiling is so ridiculous with that kid. But my whole thing
here, we went 7 years with Tannehill ceiling.
Yeah, but Tannehill doesn't have the ceiling he has. Okay, Tannehill ain't never been compared to Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I want to ask the question.
So what I'm going to say here is
better than Mahomes.
Whether you're injured like Tua, whether you're healthy like Love and you're a project, or whether people think you're sure day one starter like Trevor Lawrence, guess what I'm doing to you? You're sitting for a year anyways. I don't care how good you think you are. You're sitting for a year. You're redshirting. You're learning. You're going through 2 off seasons, and you're going through 2 OTAs, and you're going through 2 spring trainings, and I'm going through 2 free agencies and 2 drafts to build that for you because you're supposed to be my guy. I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care how hurt you are. If I'm taking you in the first round, you're sitting for a year and I'm properly grooming you because that's
I'm with that.
The NFL
proper grooming. I am
all
for.
These guys get thrown to the wolves and they get destroyed. And you know what? That's what you look. When you look outside of the bad organization, what's usually the problem? Whether it's a good organization, bad organization, they throw them in at game 4 and they say, "Oh, go do your thing in game 4" against guys who've been playing in the league, are used to the pace, are used to the speed. Like you don't stand a chance when you're 22. Like how many guys?
Fan base fault. That's the fan base fault. They be calling for it so much in the front office folds. But I want to say this. Go ahead, Reza.
No, you're right. There's no patience from the top of the organization down to the fan base, and that needs to change if you want to be a winner.
Yeah. So here's what I want to say real quick, man. before we move on, for the life of me, I just don't understand it, man. I just don't understand it. If Flores and those guys are great scouters and they know how to find talent, then the truth is we don't know what quarterback we're going to have. We can have somebody that none of us even know, because if you're a great scout, you're going to find Tom Brady when he was in college. You're going to find that guy and think that that guy could be better than the, what did y'all call it? The bar? Better than the bar. Because this bar is a imaginary line. It is fake. A bar is fake in this league. Because like I said, and nobody answered the question, if Tua Tagovailoa played for North Carolina A&T, would he, I ain't say whether he would be great in A&T or not. He might, yeah. But would he be the bar? Would Tua Tagovailoa be the bar if he played for North Carolina A&T? And if you wanted to be honest with yourself, you would say no.
Yeah, but
So,
then
let's be honest. How many quarterbacks coming from the
told me not to
HBCU
cut y'all off.
highly
Y'all
recruited?
told me not to cut y'all off.
No.
Y'all told me not to cut y'all off.
I just want to say Jake Fromm literally 10 minutes ago declared for the NFL draft. Quarterback.
Uh-oh. So let me finish this, okay? I don't care if it was the worst team in the SEC. If it was the last team in the SEC and Tua Tagovailoa played for them, and let's say Hurts was still at Alabama, how about that? Let's play that game. I'm just saying, Reason. I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay, no, hey.
Let's just say Hurts was still at Alabama, and Tua played for the team in the SEC that only won one game this year. Would he be the freaking bar? And the answer, if you want to be honest, would be no. So if we can acknowledge, and I'm going to come back to see if y'all say no, it would still be yes. Okay. But I'm going to assume the answer is going to be no. So if we can acknowledge that if he played on the worst team in the SEC and the answer will be no, he's not the bar, then why are we automatically thinking that our scouting team and this coaching staff and the scouts haven't found a guy from the worst team, just like they found Tannehill, and I'm not even comparing Tannehill in this case. But they ain't finding somebody out there just like Brady and saying, this is the guy. And I know the winning isn't translated, but this is everybody falls in love with him because he's seen more. He's on TV more. He's pumped by the media more. He's winning more because he's in a 5-star program. And that's the life of
Wait
me.
a minute.
It's unfair to the rest of them.
You can't say that. Let me address this because
I got a perfect example. Let me just say this one example, then it's all you. Okay. Do you know who Anthony Gordon is, TD?
No.
So Anthony Gordon plays for the Washington State Cougars, okay? This year he threw for 5,579 yards, 48 touchdowns, and 16 picks, right? So the reason why, you're right, to an extent, the reason why people aren't raving about him or saying he's the bar, because those numbers are ridiculous when you break it down, is because A, it's Washington State, but B, when you break down the film, you know, you can see traits Tua has that Anthony Gordon doesn't have. And I know you try to say Tua is a product of Alabama's system, but Anthony Gordon is literally the perfect example of someone who's a product of that system. So here's another example, Luke Falk. Luke Falk, when he was in the NCAA, led the NCAA in passing yards. Where's Luke Falk now? So it's not about just stats making the bar. It's what people see. And yeah, you are right to an extent.
Talking about stats.
Exposure has a ton to do with it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about what if they see the guy from that school and he got the traits.
But
he got the traits too.
And he's going to get.
But
enough
where is Wentz from? Where is Wentz from? I'm pretty sure Wentz is exactly. Where is Jared Goff from? And they were the bar in their draft. So like, don't say
Jared Goff, right?
And then NC, what you said, NCAA or whatever, that's the HBCU. Like, let's be honest. How many top recruits go to an HBCU? Come on, TD. Like, and if you're going to give me something, at least give me someone in like D1.
Yeah, you're right.
B plus or something. Come on. So if you're saying that someone's no, TD, if you're saying someone's, pro day and all that can make them be that bar, these guys came out of colleges. We were like, what? They even said Mitchell Trubisky was the bar. The Bears were like, oh yeah, he's the bar.
Watch this, guys. I'm about to educate Finsanity. I'm about to educate Finsanity on something she doesn't know since I went to an HBCU. Check this out, Finsanity. HBCU players on a scale have higher success than D1 players. And let me tell you why. D1, take Alabama. They may have 13 players that come out this year, hypothetically, right? 4 years from now, only 6 of them are in the league and only 2 of them are really balling. HBCUs on a team might have 2 players, but they're 11, 12, 13-year pros in this league. See, this is because when they pick you from the HBCU, they know it.
How many quarterbacks from an HBCU are starting in the NFL right now? You said you wanted to school me, but you're talking about the quarterback position. No. You're talking about exactly. So you want a kid with all this talent with all this talent to just go. Come on, TD. I understand your point, but
you're missing my principle. You're missing the principle
here. But you're talking about the quarterback position.
Yes, you don't. Oh my gosh, I am talking about the quarterback position. But here's what y'all fail to realize: if you took Jordan Love, put him on FAMU, took Tua and put him on Bethune-Cookman, you took the top 4 quarterback prospects this year and put them on HBCUs, they'll be having shootouts. It'll be amazing in college. But guess what? You'll have a whole different 4 college quarterback prospects coming out of the draft.
What, man?
It doesn't make
those SEC quarterbacks better than those 4 over there, but they're not even going to get looked. And let's be honest with you, that's biased. And on top of it, they don't have. Hold on, if that happened, it would be biased because they won't even give them the look. I'll take it a step further. The reason why you have that is because none of the top quarterback prospects would go to the HBCU because they know they ain't gonna get looked at. So what I'm saying to you ain't just the quarterback position. It's the theory behind the simple fact that these guys are supposedly the bar when you're not looking at.
Can Daddy have a seat back?
The bar. It ain't. See. If you're the bar, you're supposed to be the bar in any situation.
But TD, what you're not understanding is that with Tua's ability, if he were to go to a pro day, because HBCU quarterbacks don't even get invited to the combine, I believe. But if they had tape on him and they saw that, and he was given those opportunities, because a lot of these things we can get into this thing real deep, because me and you we talk about what's about African American quarterbacks and how they're starting to succeed because they're utilizing them in the right way now. But yes, I've even said it. People go to Alabama. Why? Because they know they'll be playing on Saturday nights, they'll be playing on national television, and they're more likely to get drafted in the top 10. Yes, I get that. You do not get the exposure. You do not get the exposure that you need if you go to the HBCU. If you want to go to the NFL, you might be able to sneak in on
business side. That's the business side of the game. That's exactly what
exactly. But here's the thing, TD. I'm saying if you give a guy like Jordan Love, Tua Tagovailoa, and all of them a chance at a combine, then of course Tua's ability would shine through because of who he is, the way he throws that ball.
Insanity. If Tua Tagovailoa went to the combine coming out of Bethune-Cookman University and they looked at all they're gonna do is look at his sheet and say 10 injuries in a year and a half. Oh, what y'all doing for dinner tonight? Why he running the 40? They're gonna be talking.
TD, I don't think he's getting injured like that at Bethune-Cookman College. I'm sorry.
I am just saying to you, if you take Tua's rap sheet, honestly,
you guys will probably chasing you at that college, bro. You ain't getting
probably be injured like that.
Tua would probably have 10,000 yards in against HBCUs, like 10,000 yards per season.
It still wouldn't be a first round pick. That's my point. It still wouldn't be a first round pick. That is my only point I'm making here. He can have 50,000 yards and still won't be a first-round pick.
Yeah, but just because he wouldn't be a first round pick doesn't mean the talent he has wouldn't justify being a first round pick. So
yeah, but all I'm saying is the bar. We talk about the bar, but we don't want to talk about how the situation the player is in makes that bar. That's why that bar is fake.
the guy's got a broken hip and fractured posterior bone or whatever, and he is seen as the bar. So I mean, don't get worse than that.
Tagovailoa on an injured ankle.
I can give
On
Tua
an
the
injured
worst.
ankle.
I can give Tua.
Kept up with
I can
Burrow
give Tua
on an injured ankle. Kept up with
Bro,
Burrow.
I can give Tua the worst
Exactly.
receiving core in the SEC, and he got 1,500 less yards this year, and people ain't gonna be talking like this. No. See, y'all act like Tua catch the ball. See, you see what I'm talking about? That's just
No,
like
what I'm saying is, but my
That's
thing is
just
like this,
Brady in
Peter.
the playoff
How
game.
many times? No.
I'm acting
How
like this
many
kid's been
times?
this
How
good
many
for
times
Tyson.
has his defense gotten 3 and outs, and Tua gets like what? How many possessions per game? How many possessions? Because of their defense when they play. What's it? It's also gets the talent that they play against. And that's what really hurt him this year. And I think Nick Saban needs to go back to his power running game. But we'll see what Talia is, and if he can even measure up to his brother, which is going to be almost impossible.
No way.
But what we're saying to you is that Tua's God-given ability would outshine a lot of things, even on an injured ankle. At least we know if the playoffs come and the man has a torn ACL, if he can go out there and put a little bit of torque on it, he is so tough.
Yeah,
he's going to go.
I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people consider him one of, if not the most prolific passer in college football.
Man, I don't care nothing about what he did in college and how prolific he was. The only thing that's going to matter is how it's going to translate to the NFL.
It's going to. His touch. TD, Tua touched Tagovailoa.
The left arm of God. The left arm of God.
The touch that he puts on that ball.
You're missing a word. You're missing a word, Finsanity. He's Tua. If you touch Tagovailoa, he hurt.
Nah.
That's
not. Listen. If he's out on an injured ankle and he's compensating, it is for his coach to pull him. We're not going to get into the debate of that. But what we're saying is a healthy Tua is the bar.
The coach did pull him.
He didn't pull him.
He did pull him. Who was the one that kept begging to go in?
Nah.
That's a fact.
If you're the coach,
No,
if
coach
you're the coach,
coach did pull him. They say they were sitting him down, and he was going to go back.
Coach, well, that just shows you how much cool and how much he ran that offense by himself.
Listen, man.
What happened when Saban asked him? Saban asked him, "Do you want to sit down?" He said, "No, I want to go back in, coach. I want." And they talked about it, and he said, "Okay." Saban said, "Okay," because I want to run a 2-minute offense, and I want to get you guys used to it. And he said, "Okay, go back in there on a 2-minute offense." And Tua's talked about it. They went out there to run the 2-minute offense.
If Tua come into this league and don't translate to be that guy, y'all gonna be the same people that's gonna make every excuse for him about what we're not putting around.
No, because I'm telling you, if Tua goes past us, right? If he goes past us,
he's gonna fall into a better situation.
Exactly. There's not an excuse out there for him.
Yeah, so I won't. Definitely, I won't. If this guy falls to like the Patriots or like or someone in the 20s that's good, then there's no.
Listen, don't
I just can't wait for this guy to come in this league.
Get him. Johnson and Jones and who's the other wide receiver over there? Oh my!
We're talking about Detroit.
Hawkinson and them boys. Oh my gosh!
Galladay
and Tua will be straight. Crazy.
Yeah, it's funny how y'all keep talking about all we need is this and he'll be straight.
Well, they're talking about Detroit. She's talking about
every team needs a defense.
You're not in the
I don't
chat.
care who you are.
There's so many quarterbacks in college right now that if they had Tua Tagovailoa, see, this is the thing. This is what I want to ask y'all. If every D1 college team had Tua Tagovailoa as receivers and offensive line, is there anybody in college that could have performed better than Tua? Watch this.
Say that again. Say one more time.
You said if every team had him?
If every quarterback in D1 football, right, had Tua Tagovailoa's receiving core and O-line, is there anyone that could have outperformed him?
Joe Burrow.
It'll come down to defense and special teams.
You think Joe Burrow would have outperformed him?
No. I'm saying
Who?
no. Not
If Tua was healthy,
but that's the reason
no,
why
he would have
Joe
been able to
Burrow.
use his legs.
Yeah,
People forget
but this is why-
that Tua
hold on.
also runs at times when
Burrow's
he needs
speaking-
to.
Yeah,
But when you have an injured ankle and all that, you're not trying to do that. I mean,
I'm talking about a healthy Tua. I'm talking about a healthy Tua of insanity. Healthy Tua, no
A
problem.
healthy Tua.
Burrow's
Yes.
athletic though. Don't take that away from him, right?
Yeah, but I'm waiting on the answer from y'all. If they had Tua's situation, you just plug them in. Is there anyone that could have been just as good, if not better?
You're asking us to give everyone
Trevor
in
Lawrence.
the nation
I'll say
the
Trevor
same
Lawrence.
thing. That's like a utopia. It doesn't exist.
Yeah,
You have to look at other
just
factors.
like that bar don't exist.
Trevor
But
Lawrence.
that's
No. Because you got to talk about the coaching staff. What kind of offense are they running? Like you see how there's all these attributable factors that are out there, CD? Come on,
No,
man.
there ain't no
Come on, man.
factors. That's why I'm making all the factors even. Just the quarterback stuff. That's it. Everything.
If you
even.
gave everybody Alabama's offense, is that what you're saying? If you gave everybody Alabama's offense,
Bingo.
One answer. Trevor Lawrence. That's it.
well, what
That's
do their
it.
defenses look like?
See, that's
Because
what
you
I'm
can have,
trying
you
to
can
do.
no.
No.
You can have the offense, but if your defense
Same
sucks,
defense.
then,
Okay, same defense.
Which is not that
well, then
great.
TD, like you're playing yourself. I mean, how many people have done that on Madden? Come on, like
No,
are
I'm
we
just
playing
asking
on
a
all pro
question.
mode? Are
Can
we
you
playing
give
on
an
all
answer
Madden?
to his insanity? Can you give an answer to it?
TD, that's such a deep hypothetical question. Like there would be so many like simulations you would have to do just to get an accurate reading. And I know, like, come on, we would need a lot of data.
I love your
on
answer.
that.
I love your answer, and here's why. It was a trick question, and basically you passed the test. Okay,
I tried to.
you can't. The answer is you can't. You don't know if somebody would be better. But that goes to my point. Stop saying this guy is the bar in his situation when you don't know if somebody else was in that situation, if they would be the bar.
Trevor Lawrence.
You don't know. That's my whole point here. We make this guy out to be the Messiah when his situation makes
Trevor
him.
Lawrence looks like Jesus, not Tua. So let's get that straight, okay?
I get that the man.
All I'm saying is y'all are making my point. Stop making this man the bar. Make him the greatest college player right now. I ain't gonna argue that because of what's around, but don't make him the bar when the bar is imaginary, because the bar would actually have to constitute everybody having the same situation to know what that is.
We just said he's the bar for quarterbacks of this draft. We didn't say he's not the bar for everyone moving forward.
You don't know that. Nobody else in this college.
I can say he's better than Joe Burrow. I can say that.
Nobody else in this draft has the defense, the wide receivers, or the O-line he does.
Brother, if you put hold on. If you put Tua in that position,
is it his fault
with LSU?
He outbeat.
It's not his fault. I'm just telling y'all, stop making him the bar
for that position at Alabama. Is that his fault? Is it his fault that he outplayed and won the starting position at Alabama?
No, not at all.
If those other kids who you were trying to compare him to had the talent, Saban and them would have recruited them. They would have came to Alabama and they would have gotten beaten off the field once again by Tua because Tua
I'm not
is that dude.
even the comparison. It's not true.
Because I'm saying if you gave them all Tua situation, and you said Tua, and you gave them Judy, and you gave them Najee Harris, and you gave them Devontae Smith, and you gave them Waddle and Ruggs, and you said we're gonna line this thing up. Go out there and show me what you can do. Tua is out beating every single one of them, from the kid from the HBCU to Joe Burrow.
How's she gonna go from not answering the question and saying there's too many factors to all of a sudden answering it with a definitive?
No, because you changed it. No, you changed it because you said give every team Tua. Now I'm saying is if you brought in every single quarterback who they are. No, you changed the variable.
I said give every team to that other quarterbacks.
Hey,
you said give everybody Bama, right? Give them Bama's offense, and I said that's why I said there would be too many simulations. Now you change the variable. If we're bringing in Jordan Love into Bama, Tua will beat him out. If you bring Joe Burrow into Bama, Tua will beat him out. And if you need evidence, go look at all the other quarterbacks who beat Joe Burrow out. No. Look at all the other quarterbacks who beat Joe Burrow out He
You're-
dropped to
you're
LSU, got a
assuming
better
that.
system.
Hold on.
CD.
Finsanity.
No.
Can
Joe
I ask
Burrow
you?
has been beaten out by quarterbacks of lesser talent
I
and
ain't talking
ability
about
than
Burrow.
Tua.
I'm not talking about Burrow.
So what I'm
Finsanity.
saying is retain the variable. You said give those quarterbacks to a situation. And I'm saying if you were to line them up in the spring and put Tua on that and put
You
Tua
okay,
in there
buddy?
too. So you got Tua, Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. They're all at Bama in the spring competing for the starting position for Alabama. There is no doubt in my mind
In
that
your
hopefully
mind,
Tua
thank you for saying that.
and in 99% of America's mind that Tua Tagovailoa would beat them all out.
Finsanity.
Easy.
That's your
Finsanity.
mommy, buddy.
If they
hold
were
on.
good enough to be recruited to Bama,
Yo.
they would have been. I
Opinions,
would love to see how many.
opinions,
I would love to
opinions.
see how many of them.
Yo.
The kid came from freaking Hawaii. Most of these guys are inland. They went all the way to the Pacific Ocean to find this kid
Hey, she going
and to
off.
recruit him. Brought his family over here. So obviously there's something special about this kid.
Insanity.
Let's start looking at some attributable
Insanity.
factors.
Hey.
All these guys in the States, in the continental U.S. Let's talk about the continental U.S. That's
Okay.
you know the continent of North
Insanity.
America
Okay.
that were out here. I wonder how many of them got letters, got full scholarships to come play for Alabama.
Okay,
And you
okay.
want to know, could Tua beat them all out?
Okay,
When this dude is, I don't know how many miles
Football's
it is
Moana.
from Bama to
Football's
Hawaii,
Moana.
but somehow, some way, they found this kid all the way in Hawaii. And brought him over here.
Finsanity.
So yes, I truly believe that if you were to bring all the men in the spring, not only would Tua as a freshman outshine all of them, Tua as a sophomore would beat him out, Tua as a junior would beat him out, and all praises be to God that Tua is not staying for his senior year. Because that was only bad for his
I
dad.
value your opinion in that matter, Finsanity.
Can I say something, please? Can I say something? Jesus. Finsanity. Listen.
Man, like let's start really looking at it.
What is
You get scholarships, you get offers to go play somewhere, right?
That don't mean you're gonna turn out to be anything in the NFL. It don't mean you're gonna turn out to be anything in the NFL.
He was the best available, and he went to the best.
Every year there's the best
available.
Every year there's the best available. Every year there's the best available.
Go play with lesser talent. Go play with the best. I'm pretty sure if you could afford, the most expensive wine, you'd go out and buy that bottle instead of the other bottles of wine. Let's be honest. Tua is a vintage classic wine.
Sometimes the cheaper bottle tastes better.
Can I say something now?
But it don't get it. Hey, listen, it don't do the job though as well.
Actually, the cheap
now you waking up with that hangover the next day.
Actually, the cheap wine do the job much better.
Nah, when you wake up with that hangover, then you'll know.
Hey, you can wake up with a hangover if you got a Lombardi trophy up.
Hey, can I say something? Are we done?
Tua is different.
Hey, Reason been trying to break through for like 30 minutes.
I'm sorry. Reason.
You're telling us the story of Tua like he's
I can't
Moana.
hear him, so I didn't know. I'm sorry, Reason.
Okay, she can't hear me? She can't hear me?
I don't know if she can hear you.
All right, so this is what I'm going to say. It's already happened. You're going off on this tangent. It's already happened. Jalen Hurts was in that exact same position. And Jalen Hurts got beat out by Tua Tagovailoa.
And I ain't talking about Jalen Hurts.
But I'm saying you've already had an example of a quarterback who's considered, who I have as number 7.
Y'all talking about one, 2, or 3 situations. I said you take every
he was the Heisman candidate this year, and he couldn't hack it in that offense compared to Tua.
Here's all I'm saying to y'all. Here's all I'm saying. In Tom Brady's draft, whoever the first quarterback coming out was, y'all would have been making the same argument about that quarterback, even if they weren't as good as Tua. But whatever it is, you would have said, this is the top guy. This is the bar. In Tom Brady's draft, y'all would have been saying the same thing. All I'm saying is, if you scout right, there are Tom Brady's out there. Unfortunately, they just don't get the same respect or love. That is all I'm saying to y'all.
Well, those
Tom Brady's are going to have 10 times better careers than the Tuas of the world that come out. Not saying it'll be Tua. He might be the greatest of all time. But the Tom Brady's would have a 10 times greater career than the guy that we don as the king every year coming out of college. Every year. Let's go. If you want to go back the last 20 years and look at the first quarterback taken overall that they donned and said he's the first one to ever do this, the first one to ever do that. He's the greatest this, he's the greatest that every year.
Only one quarterback went in that first round of the Brady draft.
Okay, who was that?
Chad Pennington, who was arguably statistically one of the more accurate quarterbacks that has ever played the game.
Okay, but at the end of the day,
oh, you're right. 5 other guys went after him before Brady. So
no, that just take Chad Pennington, Tom Brady, Chad Pennington.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The only point I'm sitting here and making is we will make Chad Pennington the freaking bar. And then if we draft the Tom Brady, people would be pissed. Like, what the hell are we doing? This isn't the bar. This guy, Chad Pennington, has the most accuracy. This and that. He's the greatest thing. That's all I'm saying to y'all. That's all I keep. That's the only argument I'm making. Y'all making it more than that. And that's why this bar is imaginary.
Oh, see, this is what I said since I've started about 2 on his channel. What have I said, TD? I said he's the best I've seen since Andrew Luck. And Trevor Lawrence is the best I've seen, period, probably, since I started taking college football really seriously. But so I'm not one of those. I know what you're saying. There are people every year who are like, yo, this is the best guy I've ever seen. Next year, this is the best guy I've ever seen. So, and that's what a lot of people turned into with Burrow this year, right? So I'm just saying, like, I've been pretty consistent. I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see me fawning over just any Joe Blow. So that's where I'm going with that. That's just how I feel about it.
I'm not tripping over people saying Tua is the best. I'm not tripping over people saying Tua is the best thing coming out. I just get a little besides myself when I hear that he's the bar. I'm a literal person. Nobody's the bar until they've proven it. Nobody's a generational talent until they proved it. Like I keep on saying, Lonzo Ball was a generational talent.
But I think we do this for we do this for like Chase Young is the bar at edge this year in the draft.
He ain't the bar either at edge.
That's just what you're gonna.
Don't know.
When people want to hear about other prospects, brother, you have to put them up against someone. Who else is in the draft usually, and say this is why he's not as good as this guy, but this is why he's better than that guy. That's why you get into this. I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't really care that much about it. I'm just saying, like, this is why you get into that whole thing with each draft of this guy is the bar at that position, this guy is the bar at that position. So everyone under them that you have on your big board, you have something you compare. His footwork is why he isn't as good as Tua, or the way he bull rushes. Kurt Weaver isn't as good of a bull rusher as true. But it's an example. Curtis Weaver isn't as good of a bull rusher as Yetur Gross-Matos. Like, you just use those examples as a bar. But I get what you're saying. But I mean, in all fairness, that's why people have it. You know what I mean?
Hey guys,
what's up? What's up, man? Casey?
What's going on, man?
Adam, man, talk to us, man. What's your thoughts, Adam? Because you've been chilling.
I actually want to ask 2 questions. It's not about the Dolphins though, but I want to ask the questions. How do you guys feel about Tannehill playing where he's at, and where do you think Tom Brady's going to go?
Reason?
I mean, I've been agreeing with, every time him and EM get into it, I agree with TD with what he said about Tannehill in terms of he just needs to be put in the position, because I always go back to the year where we had the unicorn lines and when we had a running game and you saw what the potential was with him, right? So I agree with TD's assessment on Tannehill. I think Tannehill isn't great. I think he's definitely above average. But I think he's I think with the pieces around, you can win a Super Bowl with him. Like I said, Rex Grossman went to the Super Bowl, you can win one with Tannehill. And then, what was the second question?
About Tom Brady, where do you think he'll go, or do you think he'll retire?
He's not retiring. I think he's not retiring. It's crazy. You know where the perfect situation for him is, but it's not going to happen, is the San Francisco 49ers. And it's actually the perfect situation for him because A, that's his childhood team because he grew up a Montana fan, and B, they are literally that guy away from probably winning a Super Bowl. I think he's far better than Jimmy G. I'm not a huge Jimmy G guy. So, but I mean, that's not probably realistic. But I think if you want to go a realistic option, because Rivers is gone, is the San Diego Chargers or Los Angeles Chargers, sorry.
I kind of have a feeling he might go to Las Vegas, be the new Raiders quarterback.
I'm actually thinking Gruden might try and move up for Tua. That's Ball game brought that up in the chat, and I 110% agree. If you're going to watch anyone, watch the Oakland Raiders because he tried his damnedest to move up for Kyler last year, and they need a star going to Vegas, right? And I don't think he's from what I understand, he's not a big Derek Carr fan.
I think he might actually end up with the Raiders in Vegas. I really do believe that.
I think it's a possibility for sure.
Are we talking about Brady or Tua?
Brady. And even the Chargers possibility as a gap, as a what do y'all call it? A stopgap for about 2 years maybe while they get a young guy and develop behind them. I think those two are big players on the list. And if the Raiders can't get him, I'm starting to look into it more, what y'all were talking about, Reason. If the Raiders can't get Brady, because you're right, he's not a big fan of Carr, but he's not going, and Carr might be out of there. The Raiders might use some assets to go up and get Tua.
They have 2 firsts this year, right?
Yes, they might go up and get Tua right ahead of us.
Yeah,
they might go all the way up, y'all.
Yeah,
I mean,
they could afford Redford them.
Yeah, because but that's another thing. If they do get Brady, they still might move up and get Tua.
No, I agree. You're right.
Because imagine them getting Brady, and all of a sudden they take their 2 first-round picks, move up to number 2 or number 3, and they draft Tua Tagovailoa to sit behind Brady. Would that not be the perfect look for them?
Oh, you're right. That's the perfect match.
So you got a brand new Vegas, bringing Tom Brady, making you a Super Bowl contender right away. Don't think you're gonna win it. I don't, but you're still a contender, and you got the future coming right after him in a new city like Vegas. Man, that owner is gonna be swimming in cash. You're gonna have people with Brady and Tua jerseys on. They're gonna have Tua Brady jersey, Brady Tua jerseys. Like, I mean, that's a marketing move above anything. And I could see it actually happening, man.
Yeah.
And personally, I hope it happened. Y'all already know why I hope it happened.
You're a hater.
So
yeah, let's watch it go be great with the Oakland Raiders and bring them back to relevance. Well,
he's the greatest he wants to be with the Oakland Raiders. Go win 30 Super Bowls with Oakland. Don't end up in Miami, man.
I gotta go get my daughter, so I'm out, boys.
Yeah, I'm out too. I gotta go get my daughter off the school bus. So I'm out too, guys.
I appreciate you guys. So it's me and you right now, Casey, man. I don't know if EM's still in the room, but EM's scared to admit that Tannehill the GOAT, so he's scared to come on the stream. Let me drop the link if anybody want to join the stream. The link is in the comment section below, guys. But what's up, Casey? What's going on, man?
Very much, my brother. I had a question because personally, I'm tired of people giving Tua like just the field, like just giving him everything. Personally, because I was watching Jordan Love film today, and I was kind of like enamored by his talent. So I was thinking, I was going to ask this earlier when everybody was around. Because I feel like Jordan Love's issues can be coached and injuries can. So would you take him with the 5th overall pick, knowing that Jordan Love has the ability and the talent, but and the fact that his issues can be coached with this coaching staff?
You mean Jordan?
I feel like Jordan Love is.
Listen, you have to understand, I'm not in favor of any quarterback at the 5th pick.
Yeah, no, well, personally, I want to go defense. Personally, I'm just a thought, because personally, I would pick him over Tua if I had to choose, because of the fact that I feel like he can be coached, and he's gifted, talented, and the size and everything is just, off the charts.
My thing is I've been hearing about Jordan Love through a source close to the organization about
Yeah,
their
yeah,
desire for him. But I've never been a Jordan Love guy. I just haven't.
yeah. I hear you.
I'm just letting that
No,
information sit there and see what
I,
happens.
I literally didn't start watching him until you said something yesterday. Because I heard the name, but until you said it yesterday about your source, that's when I actually looked him up this morning.
First off, one of the OGs of the stream. Shout out to Elder Bruce Jones. What's up, homie? Elder Bruce, I think he paused it on his own. Who is this? Rashad Brown. What's up, homie? We can't hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. What up, I Spoke Hip Hop? What's going on, man?
Man, what's good with you and your beautiful family, TD Fins, man? You from my area, but I'm in Tampa right now, and I said, you know what? Let me just show love to him live, man, because you got kind of like my life since I left the military. I've been dragging my wife to all these football games and these events. Low key, she hates it, but me and my 5 kids would like to tell you guys and everybody on your platform, thank you. And I want you guys to talk, but just said one thing. I am not in love with Tua. I think he's a great quarterback, but I really felt the way before the injury. I thought he was injury prone, and I got ridiculed. That's not the here or there, but I'm begging the Dolphins to not make a mistake and take Tua. And I don't think he's going to be injury prone for good. I just don't see Tua being the so-called savior of the Dolphins. Diehard Dan Marino fan. Let's just be real. After Jay Fiedler, Dolphins have never had a quarterback. Shout out to Tannehill, my dog being a great wide receiver. He's a phenomenal, he did what he did. I'm not a hater of him, but he was not a savior, and you can name them and pile them up. There's not going to be a savior until we do our due diligence and do proper homework. And I do feel Joe Burrow will be excellent. I'm sorry, he gives me goosebumps. I'm sorry. Joe Burrow is just a different monster right now. He's a man with pride on the line.
Hold on, let me pause real quick because you said a lot of good stuff there, but as you're saying all of that, I just can't get over the fact that you got a Bucks hat on. So who is your team?
Man, I'm a diehard Miami Dolphins fan, but when people don't I don't support no other teams but Florida teams only. There will be no greater love than the Dolphins, but since I'm in Tampa right now, I said let me just show some love to the greater area of Hillsborough County. Other than that, bro, Dolphins make me cry. Dolphins make me damn near want to off myself for educational purposes of YouTube. And Dolphins, I don't know what to do with them, man. So I'm basically listening to you guys like it's church. And
So you do have some Dolphin paraphernalia, though, right?
Oh man, too much. Like you'll be seeing that a little bit soon. I like just watching you instead of coming on. I like what you guys got to say.
You good. I don't know if I should call you, pull your card first and make sure you got some awkward in the house.
Let's do that. Let's pull my card because I can throw this away anytime we want to. My man,
I need to see some aqua. I need to see some orange and white. Yeah, I don't care if it's a handkerchief. I just gotta know. He's going for real. Oh man, while we waiting on him to come back, what up? I spoke. That is I spoke about Rashad Brown. So talk to us, man.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, man. I watch the show all the time. Give out my little comments. I don't know what's going on with EM and Tua and all of that, but nah.
The love fest, man.
I mean, I agree. He's a good quarterback, but I've seen so many bad picks in the first round for the Dolphins. I'm not willing to risk it. The only way I take Tua is to prevent the Patriots from drafting him. That's the only way I take Tua.
You know what? Since you said you don't know what be wrong with EM, I'm gonna let you tell him that yourself. What up, EM?
Man, what's good, homie?
Good. Hey man, you ready?
I apologize. My laundry is being done.
Hey.
Special jersey gives me 2 minutes. Sorry.
Hey, can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you. You ready to tell us Tannehill to go?
Man, you got me fuming over here, TD. I'm out here working, bro. I had to take me a break real quick. So I had to take a break to come check you up real quick, bro. You need to stop, TD. You really need to stop.
All right, y'all. So what we gonna do going forward?
Hey, TD, you really been playing yourself the last 2 days. I just want to let you know that. You already know because I've been letting you know in our private conversation. But you really been playing yourself, bro.
Yeah,
You need
man.
to stop.
All right, Ian. When you want the one-on-one, man?
Hey,
When you want the smoke, man?
Hey, anytime, bro. I got an open invitation. Standing open invitation for anybody that want to get it, especially you. So you already know.
So what you doing Saturday night?
What? Just watching football Saturday night.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna
like
do
everybody else.
I'm gonna do the stream, bro. I'm gonna be calling the game, but we can go live together. And I want you to eat your words when Tannehill beat Baltimore. How about that?
No. No. See that's where you got me twisted, bro.
I want people to see your reaction live when you crying like you was last Sunday when you beat the Patriots, even though everybody heard it in your voice. I want them to see every completion, how you just start wiping your eyes. I want them to see it live, man.
Hey, TD. I reiterate, you will never, ever, especially commenting about a player from another team. That's what I mean by you've been playing yourself, bro. You have played out.
Bro,
you're done.
You're breaking up like Tua hips. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh.
What was that?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, bro?
I heard left ankle or broke nose or something. I couldn't hear you.
Hey, sir.
This is your fault, Nick Saban.
Hey, can y'all hear me all right? For real.
Yeah, we can hear you now, man.
Okay.
We can hear you now.
Again, you will never ever see me go on, especially live, so the world can see me commenting about a player that's not a member of our team, bro. That's what I mean by you played yourself. You played yourself out on that one.
I respect that, man.
You already know, TD. I've been giving you the blues for all week, bro. You already know.
Fake blues.
Go ahead. Cool.
You need to. Hey, TD. I wish the world could see our private conversation. I wish you would make them.
You don't want them to see our private conversations. How you contradict yourself every time in me in a football game. Showing you how you be contradicting yourself.
Hey, I really wish the world could see them. I really wish that, bro.
Hey, TD in the panel. I know you guys. I want to get all of you guys' opinions because I was debating with my wife. You guys are you guys in love with Rosen, or who particular personnel you guys have in mind to run the helms of being a quarterback for the Dolphins?
What's that? I didn't hear. What is it? Can you repeat that, bro?
Okay, yeah. What's your? Let me just say it better and summarize it. What's your opinion on Jay Rosen? Give me all of you guys. Give me your honest opinion on Rosen, and who do you guys would like to be a quarterback for the Dolphins, whether rookie or another veteran, doesn't matter.
So what he said?
Okay. That's easy. That's simple. He's garbage. He's garbage. He had an opportunity. He had the perfect opportunity placed in his lap, and he did nothing with it. He whined, he moaned, he pouted like a little kid, like a little 5-year-old. You getting on to that don't get his way, that didn't get the right, that he didn't get cookie for lunch.
That's no but a hater.
He's garbage. He should be done. Only reason why he's on this roster, he should be even considered being on this roster is because he's so cheap. His contract, he's so cheap. He's done. And I've been telling y'all that all year, bro. Stop listening to what Flores is saying. Oh, he's improving every day. Oh, he's improving. He's improving. Well, he must not be improving that much because he can't even step.
So you saying the coach line?
Oh yeah, he playing the PR game.
So you saying the coach line?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Absolutely.
Man.
Hey. He said, if you remember last year at the owners meeting.
So you the coach. So you the coach. So you the coach.
What's that?
He said, "So you the coach now, huh?"
Well, anyway, hey, did you not ask my? Didn't the gentleman ask my opinion?
You're right. You're right. You gave your opinion. Let me give my opinion about Josh Rosen.
I respect
TD,
The number one thing.
TD, hang on before you start. I'm going to give you a prime example as to why these coaches there's a PR game that's being played in front of the world. Okay, and you recall last year at the owners meeting when they sat down with Brian Flores and Chris Greer, they asked them. They had a list of players on who the beat writers inquired about. Do they have a place on this roster? They went down the list, and it was like not Laremy Tunsil, but Kiko Alonso, Kenny Stills, all of these players that had questionable roster spots going into this year. All of them, when they asked them directly, do you see a spot on the roster for this individual? What did Flores say? I do. The exact same thing he said about Josh Rosen when they asked him a couple weeks ago. So all I'm saying is this. Rosen might be on the roster.
I don't care what other people say. What? I don't care what other people say, cuz.
What do you mean you don't care what other people say?
For real. I don't.
The one thing I would tell you. The one thing I
what the coach said, bro, like for real.
Hey, listen here. Again, I prefaced everything I said was Rosen might be on this roster only because his contract is so cheap. That's it. If Rosen was the guy, number one, he would have been on the field already. Number two, they would not be selecting a quarterback, let alone a hobbled quarterback in the top 10. It wouldn't even be an issue. I can understand maybe a third, fourth, fifth rounder.
Hey, did you guys?
I understand you nitpicking.
Hold on. Guy, he asked, what do we like about Josh Rosen? And my number one thing, the biggest thing I like about Josh Rosen is that he's healthy.
Bravo.
He's healthy, right?
That's a good point, TD. It don't matter. He can't even get on the field. So it don't matter whether
he got an arm too.
Tua can't either.
He got an arm.
He can't even get on the field, bro. He can't even get on the freaking field. So stop. That's ridiculous.
But bro,
I'm telling you now,
though, that him being healthy is everything because in this world of football today, it seems like I'm scared for Lamar. But I'm gonna be fair, even pocket quarterbacks are getting injured. I don't care if you're a dual threat, if you're a pocket, they hit hard in the NFL. This ain't me playing JV football anymore. And when I finally see what varsity was like, and can you imagine the NFL and all these? You got this beast in from Ohio State. Chase coming through. I mean, I just feel like Rosen is healthy, but I do respect your opinion, and I want more of you guys' opinions because I like TD's and the other guys' perspective. But like the chat room said, I don't know if you guys read it, but I think it's Pete Otto. He said we should trade up to get Joe Burrow and still keep the same thing to win there.
No.
About Joe Burrow.
Well, they might be. Well, we all know how I feel about Tua. If it was me, we all know how I feel about Tua. But if they consider Joe Burrow on the same level or better prospect at this point,
I gotta go. I gotta work.
But anyway, first off, I'm not trading up for I don't want to trade up for anybody. That'll be the last resort for me. But if they consider Joe Burrow on the level from a prospect standpoint, not projecting him going to the next level, I'm not saying these guys are going to be generational players. All you can do is evaluate them based on what they've done in college. That's it. So if they've got that kind of number on Joe Burrow, well, they should entertain that. But me personally, absolutely not. He's Tua's just on another level, in my opinion.
How do you know that? When he literally has all 99s on his entire roster. There's like
you made me put my PlayStation controller down. I'm loving this debate. And I'll be back with you, TD. 15 minutes, I gotta pick up my kids. I'm off today. But I'll love to join you guys if you're gonna be on for us.
I'll have another stream later because we're gonna do the same thing.
Absolutely, Jeff. Absolutely, Jeffrey Tolan. I am on EM Island, and my opinion only matters, bro. Absolutely, in my world.
That doesn't
Absolutely.
make this. Yeah, you know, I can't. The fact that
I
you
heard
said
Rosen. I heard Josh Rosen, and I had to come back. I had to come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
That man.
Hey, I was going to ask for the
You
homie.
want to know what's wrong with Josh Rosen? I'll tell you everything that's wrong with Josh Rosen right now. If you really got time.
you hear it.
Okay,
He's
so
not pitching no
So
passes,
guys,
no.
what we're gonna
yeah. I would too.
nah, you get it. Go ahead, man. I'm messing
So the
around.
problem with Josh Rosen is he's. So I've gone over this before tons of times, but I'll do it again. So the problem with Josh Rosen is you haven't
Get him,
seen
Reason.
growth. You
Let
haven't
him
seen
know,
growth.
Reason.
You haven't
Let
seen
him know.
growth from year one at UCLA to now. Now everyone wants to put it on offensive coordinators, which I get. That can stunt a growth, but you're still seeing stuff that was prevalent in his game when he was considered one of the top best quarterbacks coming out. You're seeing he's constantly late on reads. He's terrible at reading disguised coverages. His line of scrimmage acumen, moving the
Let him know,
line,
Reason.
moving the line, shifting the line, pre-snap reads is not very good at all. It's not at an
Let him
NFL
know,
level.
Reason. Let him know. Let him
Okay.
know, homie.
You know
Let
what?
him
The
know.
big thing
Let
I'll
him
give
know.
him. You know what he has? You know what he has? Josh Rosen has amazing footwork. Why? Because he played tennis since he was like a little kid. That's why he has great footwork. So all Josh Rosen right now has, what you're looking at, is a guy with great footwork, okay, but he's got a slow processing speed, okay. He's got a big arm, but he depends on it too much to make up for his late reads, and he tries to fit it into tight windows. He gets picked off. So this is why I say it's Chad Henne 2.0.
Hey,
So,
just reason. You need to clarify when they're talking about this evaluation of Josh Rosen, and you say that he has great footwork. This is different between having good feet, and being mechanically sound.
I didn't say his
Totally
mechanics were
different
perfect.
things.
I didn't say his mechanics were perfect.
Right. I know, bro.
At
But
least
I'm
his
saying,
feet work.
what I'm saying is you need to
I have a
clarify
question.
that for these.
I have
You
a
need to
question.
enlighten the ones that are unenlightened.
Yeah, but what have I
Clear that
said?
up.
I said the biggest problem of Rosen's
We
game
have
is
life.
his mental processing speed, and you can teach a guy to read coverages, but that takes a very long time unless you have a fast
Exactly.
mental capacity and a fast
Absolutely.
processing speed. And guess what, guys? In
Absolutely.
today's NFL, they're not going to give you 5 or 6 years to figure out this guy's coverages and reads.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If he's
I
reading
have a quick question.
no time to
I have a
dissect
question.
the defense, is that his fault?
Right.
Exactly.
If he's if no one's
Exactly.
open
Whoa,
and
hold
he
on.
has to get rid of the ball or get
Hold
hit,
on. So then why did Kyle?
He played for Arizona Cardinals and then the city
So they
running
added. Hold on. They added J.R. Sweezy.
bro.
Added J.R. Sweezy to Arizona. That's it. A guard. Not that big of an upgrade. Okay. The guy's mid-tier at best. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Kyler Murray was sacked 50 plus times this year. Okay.
Absolutely.
Still had more than a handful of. He had a handful of 300-yard games. They played the Niners hard. They played Seattle hard. They rested, and they're a team that's considered for upward. It's not because you put a top-tier quarterback in the position.
Better quarterback than Josh Rosen at Arizona.
Because Josh Rosen is a mid-tier quarterback at best. He's going to be a career NFL backup, guys. You need to
Check
come
down Chad. Check down Chad.
Wait. How?
running drags and quick slants where they can
Hold on,
outrun
y'all.
the defense.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get it straight. Hey, Rashad Brown, can you go out and come back in because the audio is really low? Maybe it's the system. Sometimes it's like that with the first time.
Hey, check down Chad. That's his nickname. Check down Chad.
Chad
Henne
2.0.
Chad
man.
Henne. Hey, Chad Henne will be his ceiling. If you want to get a clear
Chad Henne had a big arm. People forget about how big Chad Henne's arm was. The guy would overthrow Ted Ginn. The guy would overthrow Ted Ginn.
For anybody out there in the Dolphin world, if you want a clear barometer of what you can expect of what Josh Rosen is going to be, Chad, go look up, go on YouTube and pull up that Chad.
Especially since we're going to another offensive coordinator. Set him back even further.
Disrespectful.
Wait, I have a question.
Rosen
I have a question.
Henning was
How can we?
about the injuries and without his confidence being killed. Like, well, I got to watch my work for YouTube educational purposes. without Chad Hennings sustaining what he sustained. I think it was confidence level. But with Josh Rosen, he has a highly intelligent, and you said his information processing. I do blame a lot of that on the coordinators. What he had to go to the NFL from Arizona and transitioning into with the Dolphins, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you made some fair points. I'm not gonna lie. I love all you guys' points, but we have to be fair. He's a young dude. Well, even before he got to the NFL, you got people who are throwing shots at him for having a hot tub in his dorm room, doing what it's particular.
Y'all need to stop.
Hold on, guys. Everybody talking. What's up, Bobby?
What's going on, TD?
Yo, no, but I wanted to say hip hop.
Did y'all know? Hold on. Did y'all know Burrow is older than Josh Rosen?
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
So
okay. So hold on. So you got to give Josh Rosen an opportunity to actually show what he can do. He's still super young, and we got him for super cheap.
Started 16 NFL games.
Hold on.
Doesn't matter.
Hold on. Then our offensive line is a bigger hole in our team than a quarterback. Okay. I don't even know why a quarterback is even being discussed right now, because the reason why they took Josh Rosen out is he was getting killed by the defenses.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
He was getting killed.
What? Hey, listen.
And he didn't have the experience to navigate.
That makes so much sense.
He didn't have the experience to navigate that. That's the same thing Bobby in Arizona.
Bobby's talking right now. I gotta mute everybody because it's becoming a bad show when everybody talking at once. And Bobby got the floor, especially since he talking sense. Go ahead, Bobby.
Josh Rosen didn't do well in Arizona because he was running for his life. He's not a running quarterback. Fitzpatrick is a wise quarterback, and he's mobile. So his experience is what gave him the opportunity to be this year. Rosen needs an offensive line. We need an offensive line. If we don't pick up at least 3 top offensive linemen this year, I'm gonna be more so than a running back, more so than a quarterback. We need a safety, we need a pass rusher, and we need offensive linemen. If you put Josh Rosen with a decent offensive line, you will see a better quarterback.
Okay.
Okay, let me just say this. Okay, do you know what QBR is? Do you know how it works? Do you know how QBR works? Like, do you know how it's? You mean the thing that Tannehill? Hold on. Yeah, okay, go take your Tannehill. But let me tell you this: in 13 starts last year, Josh Rosen had a QBR of 24.7. This year, in 3 starts, he had a QBR of 19.8. That's like horrible. Yeah, but QBR takes all of those things into account. QBR takes bad passes that should have been caught.
Exactly.
Bad pass. It takes good passes that should have been caught. Yo, QBR takes drop passes into account. That counts as it should have been caught. Yo, listen to me, Casey. QBR. Hold on, Bobby. Hold on.
Football is an ultimate team sport. Would you agree that football is a team sport?
Hold on. Let me make my point here first to Casey. Yo, Casey, QBR, if you drop the ball, QBR counts it as a catch. It does not count it as a drop. Just so okay. Yeah, so that it takes those drops that Preston Williams had that should be touchdown. That's taken into account in the QBR as a completed pass. So that being said, it's not good, boys. Okay, you know, QBR takes account into stuff that is like tip balls. That stuff that's out of the quarterback's realm of possibility. Takes it out of that.
Hey, listen to this. Here's the thing with Rosen. Listen. Okay, like I said, if you're entertaining the idea of bringing Rosen back next year, okay, I would for quote unquote competition. I can see that only because of the price tag that we paid for him and what he in the contract that he has. That's the only justification Rosen that I can see him being on his roster. My point with Rosen is when he's had opportunities. This is what y'all keep. It's like it's going over your head. When he's given opportunities in Arizona, and that was a huge point Flores made when they asked him about Josh Rosen's development. They asked him. They said, "Well, we just don't have." Well, they asked him, "How can you develop him if you don't see the field? If he's not playing on Sundays?" He said, "Well, we see him every single day. We've seen him how he performed on the field. And also, we see the tape from Arizona. That is alarming to me if I'm Josh Rosen.
It's not alarming because if they that way they wouldn't have they wouldn't have brought.
Can I finish? Okay. When Rosen has been given opportunities, he is historically bad, bro. You don't think that they're taking that into account? Him not having him being pressured on 3 out of 7 plays in a drive. You don't think they're not taking that into account with his evaluation? They see that. If we see it, they see it. So my point with Rosen is he's giving you nothing. He's giving you absolutely nothing to justify ignoring that position when you got a potential generational prospect sitting there looking you right in the eye in the top 5. He's giving you nothing.
What's so disappointing for me? What's so disappointing to me is everybody's talking about Tua, and Tua's never completed a football season. How can he be the best prospect and he's never available?
Okay, never, bro. Really, bro. Never.
Hold on,
man. Stop.
Hold on. Let me finish. I bit my tongue the whole time while you talk. Let me talk. The whole time. Only thing we can guarantee about Tua is whoever your second string quarterback is, he's gonna play. That's the only thing we can guarantee about Tua. That second string is gonna play because he gets hurt.
How can you say that he's a gentleman?
But that's when he's available.
Bro, Devontae, hey, all of y'all sat on here as long as TD has had this channel. Prior to this year, y'all sat here and killed Devontae Parker for being injury prone. Did you not? He had issues with his lower extremities, did he not? Did y'all not call him a bust? He's injury prone.
Who called him a bust? Who called him a bust?
You did.
I didn't call him a bust.
TD did.
Hold on.
He never called him a bust.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me hear EM say this so everybody in the college
let me
can tell me wrong this time.
Okay, let me finish my. Y'all killed Devontae Parker for being. Hang on, my man. Can y'all hear me all right?
Bro, we can't hear EM.
Hang on. Can y'all hear me?
EM.
Can y'all hear me? TD, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Let me back out.
EM, I heard him a little better. But EM goes on this rant talking about I called Devontae Parker a bust. That has never, ever happened.
Never
and this is what I'm talking about with EM. He be giving false information to drive his narrative. At the end of the day, I respect people's opinion about Josh Rosen. What Reason be saying, what he said about Josh Rosen, I'm not saying they're wrong. I just would like for this guy to get the right opportunity in the right situation to actually see if that changes the factor. That's how I feel. It's the same thing with Ryan Tannehill. Everybody had an opinion about it, but the way his factors changed. All those things they talked about with Ryan Tannehill were non-issues. So that's my biggest thing, man. When it comes to even Josh Rosen, I say get a kid.
I really think
super young.
I really think if this Chan Gailey thing is true, though, I mean, this guy's known for kind of bringing the spread offense to a serious level in the NFL, and you're not going to really run a spread with Josh Rosen because of his mobility issues. So that makes me think that it's going to be Tua or Jordan Love that's going to be groomed, because it looks like they're going the way of the mobile guy coming next, man.
Or they want to utilize his arm strength and have more targets with less congestion and allow him to see the pressure coming at him in a shotgun. It could be seen totally. It could be seen a lot of different ways, man.
I don't know. I think this is going to signal the end, man. And again, you got a guy who's been through how many offensive coordinators? 4 or 5 coming into this season. What are you going to do again? You're going to set him back once more by getting another offensive coordinator, and you set back the process. You brought him back to square one. You've literally brought him back to square one, like you acquired the second round pick all over again.
My bad, fellas. Can y'all hear me all right?
Yeah, but everybody's at square one now.
Hey,
but who you want at square one? Tua Tagovailoa learning for a year, or Josh Rosen learning for a year? I'll take Tua.
Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen.
They're not even on the same realm with passing.
TD, as I was saying, hey, bro, listen. Like everybody's killing Tua for his durability issues. Okay, I understand that, but Devontae Parker, if you go back to when he was at Louisville, why he slipped to us in the draft that year was because of quote unquote his durability issues, right? He comes into the NFL. His durability issues travel with him in his first 3-4 years. Okay. So 1 year into a new team, into a new regime's strength and conditioning program, and he completed 16 games. So why is it so hard? Why is that so far-fetched?
And we talked about this.
Same program, absolutely.
And me and Ian talked about this. Another perfect example of strength and conditioning is look at Arian Foster.
Exactly.
Arian Foster was healthy for his whole career until his brother became a strength and conditioning coach.
Exactly.
He started having hammy issues.
You can get him. You can get him.
I'm trying to answer it for you, bro. You asked me a question. Hang on. Pause and gave me an opportunity to answer.
Hang on. You get him implemented into the same strength and conditioning program that Devontae Parker and everyone else that had a chance that the same program. Get him in our program, and could he not have the similar success as Devontae Parker?
Devontae Parker. But you're automatically attributing Devontae Parker's health to the strength and conditioning department.
I'm telling you what he said. I'm telling you what the
listen,
said.
EM, let me answer your question, your initial question.
Okay.
It's easier to replace Devontae Parker if he's hurt than it is to replace your starting quarterback if he hurt. I'm not finna.
How is that relevant?
It wasn't irrelevant because it took Devontae Parker his 5th year to play a full season. We can't afford that with our future quarterback. You can't afford him to finally get over his injuries in the 5th year. That's why you cannot do that. If you want to use
sitting here with people like this is the same logic of why we passed on Drew Brees, man. I don't. You try to spin it out. Now that was a throwing shoulder. That was even worse. That was your throwing shoulder.
Okay.
That was an injury where like 10% of people come back.
You win some, you lose.
10% of people come back from that.
You win some, you lose some. We got it wrong on Drew Brees. Don't mean it wrong on.
Drew Brees had a lower percentage of coming back than Tua does, and we passed on that. And look how that worked out.
Doesn't mean that we're getting it wrong with Tua if we pass on him because of the injury.
No,
it doesn't.
But also,
you literally said it's fine with you.
You got it wrong. Only know that you got it wrong when it's all said and done.
Bro, you said he'd be fine if he went to Oakland and won 30 Super Bowls. What are you talking? Like that's like, come on,
30,000.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's ridiculous.
No, dude, that's just you stuck in your way and like stuck in your stance, brother.
Exactly.
Of course. I'm stuck in my stance. I keep telling y'all that. At least I'm admitting it, and y'all won't.
Bro,
TD is so blinded. TD is so blinded. TD and everybody that buys into this buffoonish Josh Rosen narrative. They are blinded by that. It is ridiculous.
There ain't no Josh Rosen narrative.
It's ridiculous.
I just literally said that y'all could be 100% right about Josh Rosen. I would just like to see him in a better situation to make sure that that's the case. But you can't. You can't.
It won't be here. It won't be here. It won't be
You
here.
want me to just go all out and say he's trash, just like y'all said about Tannehill.
Dude, TD, stop with the Tannehill nonsense, please, bro. You're killing me, man.
You want me to go out and say Rosen is trash, just like y'all did with Tannehill.
And that is the basis. And see, that is the basis behind that buffoonish narrative that you've been trying to sell to the world.
I don't even know.
Hold on.
Tannehill. You've been sticking that bird chest down for 2 weeks now with Tannehill, and that is the basis behind that buffoonish Josh Rosen narrative, bro. It's ridiculous.
For 11 weeks.
You need to stop. 12 weeks. You need to stop.
How is it buffoon if the man hasn't had a chance to do anything? The man, hold on. You're gonna sit there and say that Tua Tagovailoa is this great quarterback in a situation that Josh Rosen has ever been in college or the pros. Now you're gonna draft a quarterback who has a higher ceiling of getting hurt and destroying the plans of what the Dolphins want to do because you want this flashy players that might not ever see the field again. So the context of what you're saying doesn't make any sense. Josh Rosen can't be trash if he has trash around him. The man hasn't had time to do anything. Just like Ryan.
Listen.
Man.
Let me try. See, this is why, and all due respect to everybody, this is what gets my blood pressure pumping. When I'm sitting here discussing this issue with people that have severe limitations. This is what gets my blood pressure going. Okay. We have sit up here for all year and we've articulated as to the tangible things that you can put your fingerprint on with Tua's game translated to the next level. We have set up here, Reason and myself especially. I mean, and to no end. And it just gets my blood pressure. I'm sorry if I'm getting upset right now. Please, all due respect to everybody. But
Where that finger at? Where that finger?
Hey, there it is right there. There we go. Hey. But listen. There are glaring holes in Josh Rosen's game that we have articulated to the up here all year long since we had.
And it's teachable. You can't.
Mental process isn't teachable.
You can't. Listen. You can't stop from glass breaking.
Processing speed isn't teachable. That's how fast the brain works.
Let me finish what I was going to say. Okay. And those issues, listen, let me finish. And if you listen to
Oh, my bad, EM. I muted you by mistake. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, okay. And if you listen to Brian Flores when they inquire about Josh Rosen, okay, about why he's not on the field, if we can see the issues, if all these people that outside of the NFL that are not on NFL, that are not affiliated with an NFL team that break down tape and evaluate Josh Rosen's game, if they can see it, and if I can pull that YouTube tape up and I can see it, you know Brian Flores in that staff season. So the point is this: the reason why, like Reason said, like he articulated earlier, if y'all would just close your mouth and listen, these are recurring issues that plagued him at UCLA, that traveled with him to Arizona, and they have traveled with him to South Beach. So that is the whole issue with Josh Rosen. But when you're comparing him with Tua Tagovailoa, you don't, even though Tua is in college, you can still point at Tua's game and evaluate his game, and you could say, you can clearly see the holes that he's not deficient in, and you can cross-reference that with Josh Rosen's tape, and you can see clearly, okay, especially the responsibilities that they require from a player at that position. You can clearly say, well, wow, that's translatable. And you can cross-reference that with Josh Rosen's tape. You can say, damn, you know what I mean? They know, ultimately, they know whether that's teachable or not. But again, the NFL waits for nobody. The NFL waits for no one. And if Josh Rosen is taking him longer, he's just not up to speed. We've talked about the areas he's been deficient in, and he's not. You haven't seen enough improvement for Miami to ignore that position, bro. And it's sad.
So why trade for him?
Really is. I'm sorry.
So why trade for him? If you're saying that
Chad O'Shea,
people like us that can evaluate and see all this on YouTube, and they had it on YouTube during the draft.
Okay,
why trade?
I can tell you this right now. So it came out basically. I don't know if you know, but the Patriots were massive. The offensive coaching staff of the Patriots were massive fans of Josh Rosen. They saw the replacement of your boy Tom Brady. Okay, and Chad O'Shea was part of that offensive staff. And from what I've read from people close to the team who say they have sources, so take that with as big of a grain of salt as you want to take. They said that we didn't have a high valuation on Josh Rosen, right? Because in that draft, we wanted Darnold or Baker Mayfield. And what happened was Chad O'Shea came here and he said, I can make him the guy. And all of a sudden, we were trading for him when we didn't have a high valuation on him in that draft. So all the beat reporters have talked about that valuation, but this aspect about whether Chad O'Shea, this came out after Chad O'Shea was fired by people with sources, bunny rabbit ears, close to the team that have said that one of the many reasons besides the running game was the Josh Rosen experiment, because he got here and the staff was not impressed and basically said, you sold us on the wrong guy. So take that with as big of a grain of salt as you want to take, but that's what came out after Chad O'Shea was canned.
All right, so this is a good, unfortunately, but this is a good stopping point because we've been live for about 2.5, and I gotta, we still got to get to the original subject. I had to change the title to this video because we just went off. But the next one, the next stream is going to be who must go next year on the Miami Dolphins roster. I'm not even going to address EM and his lies that he just basically told on me, but that's all right. I'll get to those later because I got to go for a few minutes, but as soon as I'm able to in a few minutes, I will be back. Engraven said, no, keep going. Don't worry, Engraven. Don't worry. Don't worry. Y'all going to see Baltimore going down. And you're going to be like, no, give us another quarter to come back. But anyway, but I got to get out of here. I'm sorry to cut it off at this point, guys. We've been going way over what this stream was supposed to be. But I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to come in, all of the subscribers to join the stream, say what they had to say. I know, and I want a lot of y'all to come back next time because I'm hearing a lot of good stuff. Love having you, Casey, Bobby, Elder Bruce Jones in the background. Didn't get a chance to say much because I know he had what am I trying to say?
I had some technical problems.
Yeah. And EM, it wasn't a pleasure as always. And Reason, it's been a pleasure as always. Let me unmute EM so you can be like the buffoonery.
Hey, you running? I know you running, bro. I was just about to fall in on you.
I'm not running. I gotta call my wife real quick, handle some stuff, and then I'll be back. All right.
Hey, I'm gonna catch up with you. Don't worry. You can only run for so long, bro.
It's all right. But I ain't gonna let you keep escaping with these true facts and false lies you throw out there to try to get your point across.
All I'm here is to report the truth. The people deserve so much. They deserve that. The people in our community deserve that, bro.
Can you please start telling them the truth?
You already know.
Well, you know what? My wife just said never mind, so you about to get it in.
Engraven, shout out to Engraven.
Ian said shout out to Engraven.
Shout out to
my wife just said never mind, but I want to start a new stream anyway, so I'm gonna start a new stream in less than 5 minutes. Hopefully, I don't get caught up. So y'all come through and let's continue the conversation. But I want to talk more about the Dolphins. Who must go? I want to talk about who got to get out of Miami.
Rashad.
We're going to talk about it. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to talk about that next on TV Fans Talk. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Peace, y'all. See y'all soon.
Hello? Yo, are you in the game right now?